Introduction: The Collective Dream. Welcome to the world of mirrors. You look around and see solid walls, real people, tangible problems, and a bank account with a fixed number. You have been taught that this reality is an immovable fact. You have been taught that, to change it, you have to fight against it. You have to break your back, sweat blood, and fight the world. You have to fight to tear out a piece of happiness under the sun. You have been lied to. That vision of the world is a trap designed to keep you exhausted, docile, and obedient. What you see out there is not reality. It is the reflection. You live trapped in a collective dream, hypnotized by the mirror, trying to change the image by touching the glass. That is useless. That is madness. If you want to change the reflection, you have to change the image you project, but you cannot do it if you are asleep. Most human beings are sleepwalkers. They walk, eat, work, and reproduce, but their consciousness is turned off. They are hostages of a script they did not write. They are energetic batteries for systems that do not matter to them: corporations, political parties, religions, fashions, and social fears. In this state of sleep, life happens to you. You are a paper boat in a storm. But there is another way of living, a way reserved for those who wake up within the dream. It is called transurfing. Transurfing is not a self-help technique for thinking positive. The universe doesn't care about your optimism. Transurfing is a technology for hacking the structure of reality. It is based on a terrifying and liberating physical premise. The world has infinite variance. Imagine an infinite archive where everything that can happen has already happened. There is a variant where you are a beggar. There is a variant where you are an emperor. There is a variant where you are sick and alone. There is a variant where you are a living legend. All those movies are already filmed. They are stored in the space of variations. You do not have to create your success. That is impossible and exhausting. You only have to choose the variant you want and tune your frequency to it. It is like choosing a television channel. The waves are already in the air. You only turn the dial. In this audiobook, I'm not going to teach you to fight. Fighting is for losers. Fighting is wasting energy against the mirror. I am going to teach you to glide. I am going to teach you to navigate between timelines. You will learn to dodge the pendulums that want to eat you. You will learn to hack external intention so that the world orders itself in your favor. You will learn to become the master of the game. But I warn you, once you wake up, you will not be able to go back to sleep. Once you see the puppet strings, you can no longer be a puppet. Are you ready to take control of the projector? The dream ends now. Chapter 1. The Space of Variations, the Infinite Menu. You have been told that destiny is written in stone. You have been told that you have to struggle to build your future brick by brick with the sweat of your brow. It is a lie. The future is not built. The future is chosen. Imagine an infinite library where every possible version of your life already exists, stored on a shelf waiting for you to take it. There is a version where you are a beggar and one where you are a king. Both are real, both are available right now. The only problem is that you keep picking up the book of the victim over and over again, thinking it is the only one in the library. Welcome to the archive of eternity. To understand how to hack reality, you first have to understand where you live. And I don't mean your city or your country. I mean the structure of the fabric of reality. Humanity lives under a temporal illusion. We perceive time as a straight line. Past no longer exists. Present exists. Future does not yet exist. We believe the world is being created as we move forward, like a video game rendering the map. Like a video game rendering the map right in front of your feet. Transurfing proposes something radically different, something that modern quantum physics, Everett's many worlds interpretation, has been suggesting for decades. Time is a static illusion. Everything that was, is, and will be exists simultaneously. Imagine a roll of movie film. In that roll, the beginning, the middle, and the end are already printed. The frame where the hero is born and the frame where the hero dies exist at the same time in the film canister. The hero does not create his path. The path is already there. The only thing that moves is the projector's light. That light illuminates one frame at a time, creating the illusion of movement and time. You are the spectator, and at the same time, you are the light. Your consciousness slides along a static track of events. This field of static and infinite information is called the space of variations. It is the mother matrix. It is the zero-point field. In this space, information about everything that is possible is stored. And when I say everything, it is everything. There is a sector in space where Napoleon won at Waterloo. There is a sector where you were born in another country. There is a sector where you drank coffee today and another where you drank tea. There is a sector where you are a multimillionaire and free. There is a sector where you are in prison. The space of variations is an infinite tree of possibilities. Every thought, every decision, every event is a branch that bifurcates into 1,000 more branches. The great deception, creating versus choosing. This is where traditional self-help has failed you. They tell you, you have to create your reality. That sounds exhausting. It sounds like hard work. It sounds like you have to manufacture the bricks, mix the cement, and raise the wall. Transurfing tells you, create nothing, choose. Imagine you go to a giant supermarket. Do you start growing wheat, grinding it, baking bread, and packaging it? No. You go to the bread aisle, reach out your hand, and take it. The bread was already there. Someone, the space of variations, already created it. Your only job is to pay the price and take it with you. Reality works the same way. The version of you with the perfect body, the full bank account, and absolute peace of mind already exists. It is not a fantasy. It is a real energetic structure in the space of variations. It is gathering dust on a shelf in the universe because you haven't gone to look for it. You are stuck in the aisle of scarcity eating stale bread. You are complaining that there is no fresh bread, while 2 aisles over there is a banquet waiting for you. Your problem is not one of capacity, it is one of location. You are tuned to the wrong frequency. Terse sectors and lifelines. The space of variations is not a chaos, it has a structure. Possibilities are grouped into lifelines. Imagine an immense network of train tracks. You are on a train right now. That is your current lifeline. In this line, the script is more or less fixed. If you stay on this track, your future is predictable. You will continue in the same type of job, with the same type of salary, with the same health problems. You will grow old and die. Fortune tellers and futurists succeed because they read the track you are on. If you don't move, you will reach the station indicated on the ticket. But to the sides running parallel, there are other tracks. There is a track very close by where you earn 10% more. There is a track a little further away where you have your own business. There is a track very far away where you are a rock star. Nearby tracks have similar sets. Distant ones have totally different sets. The goal of transurfing is not to change the track you are on. The goal is to jump trains. It is to change lifelines. When you change to a favorable line, the script changes. The actors change. Luck changes. Suddenly, you encounter incredible coincidences. They are not miracles. You have simply switched to a track where success is the norm, not the exception. Third frequency emission, the radio dial. How do you jump trains? It is not with the body, it is with the mind. Your brain is a radio transmitter. Every thought you have emits an electromagnetic wave with a specific frequency. The fundamental law of transurfing is the energy of your thoughts materializes the sector of the space of variations that resonates with that frequency. If you emit the frequency, I hate my job, I'm tired, I have no money. That signal travels to the space of variations. It looks for the sectors that coincide with hate, tiredness, and poverty. It tunes into them, and boom. The projector of reality illuminates those sectors. The next day, more things happen to you that make you hate your job, get more tired, and lose money. You have anchored yourself to the negative lifeline. It is a hellish feedback loop. The mirror gives you back what you give it. You think you are reacting to reality. I am sad because I am poor. But in reality, you are creating reality. I am poor because I emit sadness. To change lines, you have to do something that seems crazy. You have to emit the frequency of the line you want to go to before being there. You have to emit the frequency of wealth while you are in the poverty sector. You have to emit the frequency of health while you are in the sickness sector. This requires a mental discipline of steel. It is hacking the radio. Most people let reality dictate their frequency. They are passive receivers. The transurfer imposes their frequency on reality. They are an active emitter. The catalogue is neutral, God does not judge. One of the hardest things to accept is that the space of variations doesn't give a damn about you. It is not a bearded God who judges you. It is not a karmic tribunal that decides if you deserve something. It is a database. It is an Amazon server. If you order poison, it sends you poison. If you order cure, it sends you a cure. It doesn't tell you, my son, don't take poison, it's bad. It simply executes the order. Input, Shu output. This is terrifying because it eliminates the comfort of thinking there is a mysterious divine plan behind your suffering. There is no plan. Your suffering is the result of the fact that you have been ordering suffering from the catalogue for years, probably unconsciously. You have been worried, fearful, anxious. Worry is a form of prayer. Worrying is visualizing what you don't want. And since the catalogue is neutral and only responds to the intensity of your attention, it has punctually sent you all the misfortunes you feared. The thing which I greatly feared is come upon me. Job 3:25. Job was a master of reverse transurfing. He visualized disaster with so much faith, fear, that he materialized it. But this neutrality is also liberating. It means you don't have to be good to be successful. You don't have to pay for your sins. You only have to make the right order. You could have been a mess for 30 years. If today you change the frequency radically, the server begins to process the new order. The past does not condemn you, because the past is just a lifeline you left. V-materialization, illuminating the sector. How does a possibility, smoke, become reality, matter? The process is physical. The space of variations is in complete darkness. It is latent potential. Your attention is a laser beam of light. When you fix your attention on a specific scenario, for example, having my own house, you begin to illuminate that sector. At first, the image is dim, but if you keep the beam fixed, persistence, the energy begins to densify. The sector begins to download into the material world. External intention, which we will talk about in Chapter 7, begins to move bridges, create coincidences, and align people. And little by little, your physical reality overlaps with the virtual sector. The dream becomes flesh. The problem for most is that their flashlight is stroboscopic. 1 minute, they illuminate, I want to be rich. The next minute, they illuminate, I'm afraid of the crisis. Then they illuminate, how lucky the neighbor is. Then I am a failure. They illuminate 50 different sectors in 1 hour. Result? Reality is an incoherent blur. Nothing solid materializes because you don't give matter time to set. The transurfer trains their attention to be a fixed, immovable focus that illuminates only the target sector, ignoring everything else. Why do we choose hell? If we can choose anything from the menu, why does 90% of humanity choose the lifeline of struggle and scarcity? Why would anyone consciously choose to be unhappy? No one chooses it consciously. They choose it by default, by inertia. From childhood, we are taught that life is difficult. We are taught to expect the worst so as not to be disappointed. We are taught realism. Realism is the biggest trap in the space of variations. Being realistic means looking at the current sector, poverty, limitation, and accepting it as the only truth. By accepting it, you emit its frequency. By emitting its frequency, you anchor yourself to it. And so, reality is perpetuated. The rich get richer because their realism is abundance. Their natural frequency is, there is plenty of money. Therefore, they stay in the lifelines of wealth. The poor get poorer because their realism is lack. To escape, you have to be, in the eyes of the world, delusional. You have to deny the evidence of your current senses in order to activate the evidence of your future senses. Therefore, the inertia of the tracks, gradual change. Warning, you cannot jump from the beggar line to the magnate line in a second. The tracks are too far from each other. The frequency is too dissonant. If you attempt such a large jump, you will break, psychosis, or extreme frustration. Movement through the space of variations must be gradual. You jump to a neighboring track where you are a little better off. You get used to that new normalcy. You jump to the next one. It is a process of gliding, surfing, not teleportation. That is why it is called transurfing. You glide from wave to wave. Today you accept that you can pay your bills with peace of mind. First jump. Tomorrow you accept that you can afford a luxury. Second jump. The following month you accept that money comes easily. Third jump. In a year you have covered an enormous distance. You are in a sector that, seen from your past, looks like science fiction. But because you have done it gradually, it feels natural. The secret is to keep the direction vector constant. Don't look back. Fate, the guardian of the threshold. Just before entering a very positive lifeline, something strange often happens. A negative event occurs. A scare. A loss. It is the entrance exam. The space of variations is testing your stability. If you react to that problem with fear and say, "I knew it, this doesn't work, I have bad luck," zap, you fall off the board. You go back to the old line. If you stay calm in the face of the problem and say, "This is part of the process, everything is going according to plan," you pass the threshold. Reality rearranges itself and you enter the fortune zone. Remember this when you start practicing. If things get weird, don't be scared. It's a sign that you are moving. The landscape always becomes blurry when the train accelerates. Practical exercise, ordering in the restaurant. To close this chapter, we are going to change your life metaphor. Stop seeing yourself as a builder. Stop seeing yourself as a fighter. Start seeing yourself as a customer in a luxury restaurant. The space of variations is the waiter. The waiter is waiting with the notepad in hand. What are you going to order? It is a statement of fact. You know they have lobster. You know you can pay for it energetically. You know they are going to bring it to you. You don't get tense waiting. You don't go to the kitchen to shout at the chef. You simply sit, enjoy the wine, and wait, knowing the order is underway. That feeling, that calm of knowing that it's coming, is the pure frequency of choice. Don't say, "Well, whatever there is, they will bring you leftovers." Don't say, "I don't want soup." The waiter hears soup and brings you soup. Don't say, "I wish I could eat lobster someday." That is a wish, not an order. The order is made with calm determination. I'm going to have the lobster. Chapter 2, Pendulums, Energy Vampires. You feel tired. No matter how much you sleep, you always lack energy. You think it's stress or age or diet. You are wrong. You are tired because you are being milked. You live surrounded by invisible structures that feed on your extreme emotions. Every time you shout at the television, every time you get indignant on Twitter, every time you panic over news, you are sending a package of vital energy to a pendulum. You are a human battery for systems that do not love you. Today, we are going to cut the cables. Morpheus told Neo in the Matrix, "You are a battery." It was not a science fiction metaphor. It was a literal description of modern society. To understand why you do not achieve your goals, you must first understand where the energy you should be using to achieve them is going. It goes to the pendulums. In ancient esotericism, they were called egregores. In transurfing physics, we call them pendulums because they oscillate. A pendulum is an energy information structure created by the collective thought of a group of people. When a group of people thinks in the same direction, their mental waves synchronize. A resonance is created, and that resonance takes on a life of its own. It becomes autonomous. A pendulum is born. A pendulum can be gigantic. A world religion, a political party, a war, an economic crisis. A pendulum can be medium-sized, your football team, your corporation, a TikTok trend. A pendulum can be small, your dysfunctional family, an argument with neighbors. Size does not matter. They all function under the same biological law. The pendulum wants to survive. And to survive, it needs to feed. What does a pendulum eat? It eats human energy, specifically emotional energy. And the pendulum does not care about the quality of the energy. It only cares about the intensity. For the polarity trap, love and hate are the same. Here is the secret that will set you free. The pendulum does not care if you are its follower or its enemy. Both feed it. Imagine a political party. The fanatic follower gives it energy. They are the best, I love them, long live the leader. Positive energy. The angry hater gives it energy. They are thieves, I hate them, let them die. Negative energy. For physics, both are high-intensity waves directed at the same object. The pendulum absorbs both currents and grows stronger. It oscillates with more force. The only one who loses is the human. The follower loses their individuality and their energy defending the pendulum. The hater loses their peace of mind and their energy attacking the pendulum. The pendulum always wins. That is why the media, tools of the pendulums, always seek polarization. They want you to love or to hate. They do not want you to think. They do not want you to be indifferent. Indifference is the death of the pendulum. If no one pays attention to it, the pendulum stops, rusts, and dies. That is why the system does everything possible to hook you emotionally. Look what this politician said. Be outraged. Look at this tragedy. Be afraid. Look at this injustice. Shout. They are hooks. If you bite the hook, react emotionally, the pendulum has caught you. You have established an energy connection. You start vibrating at its frequency, and your energy flows toward it. How the pendulum provokes you. Pendulums are sophisticated predators. They know you won't give away your energy voluntarily all the time. So they provoke you. They hit you at your weak points. Fear. They scare you with news of pandemics, wars, or economic collapses. Fear is the tastiest energy for the darkest pendulums. It paralyzes your will and makes you dependent on the protective pendulum, the state, medicine, religion. Justice. They appeal to your sense of justice. They show you a video of someone doing something wrong so that you fill with righteous anger. You feel like a good person for being angry, but in reality, you are just being milked. Guilt. They make you feel guilty for not supporting the cause. If you don't put this flag in your profile, you are an accomplice. They force you to donate energy through social shame. Pride. We are the good guys, they are the bad guys. The pride of belonging is a powerful drug. Observe your day. How many times have you been angry about something that has nothing to do with you? How many times have you mentally argued with a stranger on the internet? How many times have you worried about news you cannot change? Each of those times, a pendulum touched your sensitive fiber, and you, like an obedient automaton, handed over your daily ration of energy. And then you wonder why you lack the strength to start your business or go to the gym. Because you have spent all your fuel feeding someone else's monsters. There's the battle of the pendulums war. Pendulums also fight among themselves. The left pendulum fights against the right pendulum. The Apple pendulum fights against the Android pendulum. The vegan pendulum fights against the carnivore pendulum. They fight to steal adherence. They want more batteries. You believe you are fighting for the truth. Poor deluded person. You are fighting so that your pendulum grows fat. The pendulum does not care about you. It cares about its survival. If to survive, the pendulum has to sacrifice you, send you to war, fire you, ruin you. It will do it without hesitation. You are a pawn. You are a renewable resource. When a soldier dies for the country pendulum receives a massive injection of emotional energy from collective mourning. The soldier loses their life. The pendulum gains immortality. This sounds cynical. It is. Transurfing is not for idealists. It is for people who want to see the real mechanics of the world. Sci-fi escape strategy, one failure of the struggle. So what do? Your first instinct will be to fight. I'm going to destroy this unjust system. Error. If you fight against a pendulum, you give it energy. The more you resist, the stronger it becomes. Look at the activists who dedicate their lives to fighting against something. They usually end up exhausted, bitter, sick, and poor. And the problem they were fighting against usually grows larger. You cannot put out a fire by throwing gasoline on it. You cannot destroy a pendulum by hating it. If you try to stop a swing by pushing against it, it will hit you and knock you down. To stop a swing, you have to stop pushing it. V escape strategy, to the void, ignore. The only way to defeat a pendulum is to ignore it. But it is not a passive or resentful ignorance, that is repression, and repression is also energy. It is a sovereign indifference. It is walking past the pendulum and not turning your head. It is seeing scandalous news and feeling nothing. Neither anger nor fear nor joy. Nothing. Void. It is like watching it rain. You do not get angry with the rain. You do not fight against the rain. You simply open your umbrella and keep walking. You accept that the rain exists, but you do not let it get you wet. You accept that pendulums exist. Politics, crisis, human stupidity. But you do not let them touch you emotionally. When you become transparent to the pendulum, it tries to provoke you. It will shout louder at you. It will tempt you. If you maintain the void, the pendulum gets bored. This human is broken. They do not emit energy. Let's find another one. And it leaves you in peace. Suddenly you find yourself free. You have time. You have mental clarity. You have plenty of energy. You have stepped out of the emotional matrix. VI escape strategy. 3. Extinguish the pendulum. Humor. Sometimes you cannot ignore the pendulum because it is attacking you directly. Your boss shouts at you. A stranger insults you. A debt collector harasses you. If you stay quiet, they eat you. If you shout, you give them energy. What do? You use the technique of extinguishing the pendulum. It consists of reacting in an absurd or unexpected way. The pendulum has a script. Boss's script: I shout at you. You get scared or angry, I receive energy. If you break the script, the frequency collapses. The pendulum falls flat on its face. Example: the boss shouts, "You are useless, this is wrong." You, with a radiant smile: "Boss, you are absolutely right. Today I am especially clumsy, I think it's the alignment of Saturn. Do you want a coffee?" The boss is in shock. He expected fear. He received absurdity, humor. There is no resonance. He cannot absorb your energy. He remains confused and leaves. You have extinguished the attack. Humor, irony, and controlled madness are the best weapons against pendulums. Pendulums are very serious. Laughter disintegrates them because laughter is an uncontrollable vibration of freedom. 7. Rent yourself, the secret agent game. Many will say, "But I have to work in a corporation, pendulum, to eat. I cannot ignore it." Correct. You do not have to go live in a cave. The transurfer lives in the world, but is not of the world. The technique is called renting yourself. Rent your body and professional mind to the pendulum. But never sell your soul. Go to work. Follow the pendulum's rules. Say what they want to hear. Dress like them. Play your role impeccably. But inside, remain as an observer. Maintain an ironic distance. Watch corporate meetings as if you were an anthropologist studying a tribe of monkeys. Do not take company goals as something of life or death. It is only a game. Play well, collect your money, and go home with your energy intact. When you rent yourself, you stop suffering. Suffering comes from identification. My job is me. No, your job is a role you play. When you detach, paradoxically, you become more efficient. Since you are not afraid of the pendulum, you act with a coldness and clarity that others lack. You become immune to stress. The pendulum will respect you more because pendulums secretly respect those they cannot control. They will see you as a favorite of the pendulum. They will promote you. And you will keep smiling, collecting the checks and using that money to build your own freedom, your own lifeline. Fate, your own pendulums, create versus follow. Can you create your own pendulum? Yes. When you create a company, a community, or a movement, you are creating a pendulum. If you are the leader, the pendulum feeds you at first. Founders, rock stars, leaders are at the top of the pendulum's food pyramid. They receive the energy of fans. But be careful. If the pendulum grows a lot, it will take on a life of its own and may try to enslave its creator. Look at YouTubers or famous artists who become slaves to their audience. The pendulum, the fans, demands of them, do the same content as always. Do not change. Be what we want you to be. If the creator disobeys, the pendulum attacks. Cancellation. Even if you are the creator, maintain your distance. Never identify totally with your creation. Always maintain your individual sovereignty above the pendulum you have created. Psych, the frequency of freedom. How does it feel to be free of pendulums? It feels like a clean silence. You stop having noise in your head. You stop feeling that urgency to have an opinion on everything. You realize that 99% of the world's problems are not your problems. They are problems of the pendulums. Let them sort themselves out. You have only one mission, your own lifeline. You have to tend your garden. Your energy is limited. If you have 100 units of energy a day, are you going to spend 20 on politics, 20 on football, 20 on celebrity gossip, 20 on complaining about the weather? You have 20 left for your dream. It is not enough, you will fail. The Transurfer withdraws all that investment. Politics, 0. Football, 0. Gossip, 0. Complaint, 0. They have 100 units left for their dream, their slide, their choice. With 100 units of concentrated energy, you are a laser. You cut through reality. You materialize fast. People will ask you, but didn't you hear about what happened in the news? You will say, no. They will say, you live in a bubble. You will think, yes, I live in my bubble of creation. While you live in the landfill of reaction. Chapter 3. Excess Potentials, the Physics of Equilibrium. There is a cruel law in the universe. If you desire something with desperation, it will flee from you. If you have an atrocious fear of something, it will happen to you. It is not that God is sadistic. It is that nature hates imbalances. When you give too much importance to something, be it money, love, or success, you create an energetic tension, an excess potential. And the universe, to relieve that tension, will send you the balancing forces to destroy your dream and restore peace. To win, you must stop needing to win. To obtain everything, you must be willing to lose everything without blinking. Have you ever wondered why on the day you have a crucial job interview, you stain your shirt? The car doesn't start and you arrive late. And why on the day you don't care about anything, things work out perfectly? Why does the person you are obsessively in love with ignore you, but when you ignore them, they pursue you? Welcome to the world of balancing forces. We live in an energetic system that seeks stability, homeostasis, right now. Imagine atmospheric pressure. If there is high pressure in one place and low pressure in another, the air moves violently from one side to the other to equalize it. That is wind. In the world of mental energy, the same thing occurs. Your thoughts have weight. Your attention has pressure in your world today now. When you give an exaggerated importance to something, you are creating a zone of high pressure in the fabric of reality. You are energetically shouting, "This is vital. Without this, I die. This is the only thing that matters." You have created an excess potential. You have created a disturbance in the field right now today, in your life now. And reality, which seeks repose, will send a wind to eliminate that disturbance. And what is the fastest way to eliminate the tension of your obsessive desire? Simple. By taking away the object of desire. If you do not have the object, you can no longer obsess over it. The tension disappears. Equilibrium is restored today in your world now. You are devastated, yes, but the universe is at peace. The universe prefers to break your heart rather than maintain an energetic imbalance. By letting go of the desperate grip on your outcomes, you allow the natural flow of existence to move in your favor without the interference of these corrective forces in your existence today now. The anatomy of importance. The root of all failure in transurfing is not the lack of talent nor the lack of action. It is importance. Importance is the virus. There are two types of importance. 1. Internal importance. I am the center. It is the inflated or deflated ego. I am the best. I have to prove my worth. Superiority complex. Right now, today. I am trash. Nobody loves me. Inferiority complex. Both create excess potentials. If you believe you are very important, the universe will give you a blow of humility. It will make you trip in public. If you believe you are trash and hate yourself, the universe will confirm your vision so that you stop fighting against it today now. 2. External importance. The object is God. It is when you put something on a pedestal. That job is my only salvation. That woman, man is perfect. If they are not with me, my life has no meaning. If I don't get this money, I am finished. By idolizing the object, you create an energetic abyss between you and it right now today. You put it so high that it becomes unreachable, and the balancing forces will do everything possible to push it away, because your worship is distorting the field. The transurfer knows that nothing is important, And careful, nothing is important does not mean that you don't care about anything. That is apathy, depression today now. It means that nothing is critical. It means that you play the game of life with passion, but knowing it is just a game. If you win, great. If you lose, great. Tomorrow there will be another match. That lightness is what deactivates the balancing forces. By maintaining your equilibrium, you remain invisible to the winds of correction now. Tus, money, why necessity repels wealth. Money is the energy most sensitive to excess potentials. Money is like a cat. If you run after it shouting, it flees. If you sit quietly and do your thing, it comes to rub against your leg. Poor people, in mind, charge money with a brutal importance. They spend the day thinking about the lack of money right now today in your life now. They suffer for every cent. That anguish creates a concrete wall around them. Necessity is a very specific frequency vibration. It is the frequency of absence. If you need money desperately, the universe reads, the subject is vibrating in I don't have. Let's give him more I don't have to maintain coherence in your world now. Furthermore, desperation makes you clumsy. When you need to sell no matter what, the client smells it, they smell your fear, and fear kills the sale. When you need the job no matter what, the interviewer smells your anxiety, and they hire someone else who seemed more relaxed. To attract money, you have to treat it with respect today. Treat it with respect, but without worship. You have to take it down from the pedestal. It is paper. They are digits. It is a tool. The millionaire does not get nervous about $100. Neither should you. Practice quiet spending. When you pay a bill, do not suffer. Say, money comes and goes. Thank you for the service now in your life. By removing the drama from money, you allow the energy to circulate. When you view wealth as a natural byproduct of your existence rather than a distant god to be appeased, you open the floodgates for abundance to flow into your reality without resistance or corrective backlash from the universe today in your life right now, today now. Third, relationships suffocating love. This is where it hurts the most. You meet someone, you love them. You start to imagine the wedding, the children, the perfect life. You start sending messages all day. You start to worry if it takes 5 minutes to answer. You have created an excess potential the size of Jupiter right now today in your world right now today now. You have grabbed the other person with an energetic fist. You are suffocating them with your importance. Even if you don't say anything, the other person feels it. They feel a pressure in their chest when they are with you. They feel that they owe you something. And the balancing forces act through them today in your world now. The person moves away. They tell you, I need space. You become more desperate. You increase the potential. The person flees faster. The end is inevitable. Breakup. The bad boy or the femme fatale succeeds not because they are bad, but because they have low importance. They do not need the other person now in your life. They have fun, but they are autonomous. That lack of need is magnetic. It creates a vacuum that the other person wants to fill. If you want someone to stay, let them go. Lower the importance of the relationship. Say to yourself, if we are together, wonderful. If they leave, wonderful too. I will have more time for myself today. My happiness does not depend on this human. At the moment you release the grip, the other person breathes, relaxes, and approaches again. By cultivating your own internal completion, you become an irresistible force that invites others into your orbit without the pressure that inevitably triggers the forces of separation and balance. 5. The mechanism of sabotage, Murphy's Law. Murphy's Law. If something can go wrong, it will go wrong and is not bad luck. It is the physics of potentials. If you have a great fear that something will go wrong, you are giving it negative importance. You are visualizing disaster with great emotional intensity. You are drawing the bow toward the wrong target right now, today now. The universe says, wow, this human is obsessed with the possibility of tripping on stage. It must be very important for him to trip. Let's help him. And the balancing forces push you. Sabotage also occurs through blindness. When you give too much importance to an objective, you get tunnel vision today in your world right now. You tense up, your muscles seize, your mind blocks. Creativity requires relaxation, alpha waves. Obsession generates stress, high beta waves. In a state of stress, You make stupid decisions. You insult those you shouldn't. You forget keys. You make rookie mistakes. It is your own importance that has turned you into an idiot now. To perform at the highest level, flow, you have to act as if the result did not matter. Look at surgeons or fighter pilots. In life or death situations, they are the coolest people in the room. They have reduced the importance in order to operate. If they thought, my God, if I cut here, he die, their hand would shake now in your life. They dissociate. Cut here, so there, done. That coolness saves lives. By mimicking this professional detachment in your own endeavors, you bypass the psychological friction of overimportance, allowing your skills and intuition to manifest with the lethal precision required for consistent victory in the field of play today. V. The solution, cool action. So how do we desire something without giving it importance? How do we work hard without obsessing? The key lies in separating desire from intention. 1. Desire is passive and anxious. I hope it happens. I am afraid it won't happen. High importance. 2. Intention is active and calm. I am going to do it. It is a fact now. Low importance. The perfect metaphor is going to get the mail from the mailbox. When you go to the mailbox, do you kneel and pray that there is mail? No. Are you afraid of not being able to open the mailbox? No. Do you jump with hysterical joy if there is a letter? No. Do you commit suicide if the mailbox is empty? No, today in your life. You simply go, you walk, you open, you take, you return. It is a pure action, without emotional residues. That is transurfing. You have to go look for your first $1 million with the same attitude with which you go to look for the mail. I'm going to make the calls, I'm going to close the deals, I'm going to collect now. It's what needs to be done. It is inevitable. No drama, no euphoria, no fear, just movement. People confuse passion with hysteria. You can be passionate in execution, but cold in attachment to the result. Be a sniper. The sniper does not hate the target. He does not love the target right now, today in your life now. He simply adjusts the sight, controls his breathing and fires. Pure action. By adopting this stance of calm inevitability, you align your personal power with the silent efficiency of the universe, ensuring that your goals are achieved as naturally and certainly as the morning sun rising over the horizon today in your world now. First, renting yourself review. Let's remember the concept from the previous chapter, renting yourself. When you are in a high-pressure situation, a meeting with investors, a first date, imagine you are an actor playing a role. You are the director. Your body is the actor. The director is calm, observing from the outside today in your world right now today. He gives instructions to the actor. Smile now, shake hands, shut up and listen. If the actor makes a mistake, it doesn't matter, it's a movie. This slight dissociation lowers the importance immediately. It takes away the weight of being you and gives you the freedom to play the role now in your life now. By lowering the importance, your natural charisma, which was blocked by fear, is released and flows. You become charming because you have become light. By separating your essential self from the performance, you gain the immunity of the spectator while enjoying the results of the master player on the stage of life today. Thus, accepting defeat in advance, the life insurance. Here you have the most potent technique to kill importance instantly. Before any important event, perform this exercise. 1. Imagine the worst possible scenario. Visualize that you fail resoundingly, that you are rejected, that you lose the money. 2. Accept it today in your world right now, today now. Say, well, if this happens, I won't die. I'll do plan B, I'll survive, the world will keep turning. Once you have accepted defeat and have a plan B, turn your attention back to success. What did you just do? You have deactivated fear. Fear feeds on resistance to failure right now, today in your life now. If you accept failure, fear has no fuel. You have put on a psychological safety net. Now you can walk the tightrope without trembling because you know that if you fall, there is a net. And paradoxically, as you no longer tremble, you don't fall. The warrior who enters battle accepting that he is already dead now, he is the fiercest because he has nothing to lose. Live your life like that warrior. Consider that you have already lost everything. Now, everything you win is pure gain. Play with the house's money. By surrendering the fear of loss, You become an unstoppable force that the universe no longer needs to balance today. Fate, guilt as excess potential. Guilt is a form of internal importance. I am bad. I must be punished. It is inverted arrogance. You believe your mistakes are so important that the universe must stop to punish you. By feeling guilt, you invoke the manipulative pendulums and the balancing forces today in your world right now, today now. They will give you the punishment you ask for. For the transurfer, guilt is a useless luxury. If you were wrong, correct it. Ask for forgiveness if necessary. Repair the damage and move on. Do not flagellate yourself. Self-flagellation is narcissism. Look at me, how much I suffer for my mistake right now today. Nobody cares. Clean up and advance. The lack of guilt makes you light, and lightness allows you to navigate. By refusing to dwell in the heavy density of regret, you maintain the high vibrational state required to glide between timelines, ensuring that your past never becomes an anchor that drags your future now. Money loves silence. Another way to create excess potential is to brag. When you brag about your success, your money, or your plans, you are creating a pressure. You are seeking the envy or admiration of others. That external attention charges your objective with dense energy. And envy is a balancing force right now, today now. Envious people unconsciously wish for you to fall to equalize the scale, so that you are no more than them. Do not give them that power. Be a silent millionaire. Be a discreet winner. Do not tell your plans until they are done. Lower your profile. The universe protects what is hidden today in your life now. What is exhibited oxidizes or is stolen. Reduce your social importance. Do not seek to be the king. Seek to be the grey cardinal, the one who has real power from the shadows. By operating in the quiet, you avoid the friction of public scrutiny and the countercurrents of collective mediocrity in your world today. Chapter 4: The Wave of Luck. Favorable Lifelines. Luck is not a casino. God does not play dice with your life. What we call luck is simply the kinetic impulse generated when your mental frequency perfectly fits a favorable lifeline. It is like a wave in the ocean. It is an accumulation of energy traveling in one direction. If you swim against it, it drowns you. If you ignore it, it passes under you. But if you learn to recognize it when it is just a small ripple and you ride it, it will take you further in a month than you have advanced in 10 years of struggle. Stop rowing. Start surfing. Have you ever had a streak? It starts with something small. You find a bill on the ground. Then you get to work and they congratulate you. In the afternoon, you meet someone interesting. The next day, you close a deal. You feel invincible. You feel like you have the Midas touch. Everything flows. The traffic light is always green. And then something happens. Bad news, a fear, a doubt, and the streak is cut. You go back to grey normalcy. What was that? Was it a planetary alignment? Was it coincidence? No. It was that accidentally you got on a wave of luck. In the space of variations, lifelines are not all equal. There are swamp lines, slow, dense, problematic, and there are fast lines, fluid, lucky, rich. These fast lines usually group together. They form currents. When your energy tunes into one of these currents, you enter resonance. Reality catches you and pushes you forward. Effort disappears. Results multiply. It is momentum. The problem is that most people get on the wave by accident and get off out of stupidity. They don't know how to stay there. They believe it's too good to be true, they get scared, they lower their vibration, and they fall off the board. Today, we are going to learn the engineering of the wave. We are going to learn how to provoke luck, how to ride it, and most importantly, how to never get off. The principle of positive resonance. The universe works by echoes. If you shout into a canyon, the canyon returns your voice. If you emit positivity, not fake optimism, but genuine recognition of the good, the space of variations returns more of the same. The wave of luck is formed from a positive feedback loop. Observation. You see something good, even if it's tiny. Emission. You are sincerely happy. You give thanks. Response. The mirror of reality receives that frequency and searches the archive. User wants good things, sending more. Materialization. Something a little better happens to you. Reinforcement. You rejoice more. Explosion. The wave grows until it becomes a tsunami of success. Most people do the opposite. They see something bad. They complain. The mirror sends more problems. They complain more. Tsunami of shit. To get on the wave of luck, you have to hack the first step. You have to become a sniper of the good. There's the gold seeker, filtering reality. Imagine you are a gold seeker in the 19th century. You are in the river with your pan pulling out tons of mud and sand. 99% is mud, problems, irrelevant news, annoying people. But suddenly, a glint, a tiny gold nugget. What do? Do you stay looking at the mud and crying because there is so much mud? No. You shout with joy, grab the nugget, clean it and save it. You focus totally on the gold. The mud doesn't matter to you. It is only the means to find the gold. In your daily life, you have to do the same. Your day is full of mud, traffic, boring emails, ugly weather. But always there are gold nuggets. A coffee that tastes good, a smile from a stranger, a song you like on the radio, a client who pays on time. Your mission as a transurfer is to ignore the mud and celebrate the nugget. When you focus on the nugget, you give it energy, positive importance. And according to transurfing physics, what you focus on expands. By celebrating small victories, you are calling for big victories. You are tuning the radio to the frequency of the wave. At first it seems forced, but after a few days, you will notice that more nuggets appear, and bigger ones. Suddenly, you find entire veins of gold. You have changed your lifeline. 30. The prohibition of bad news. If you want to stay on the wave, you have to protect your mind as if it were a sterile laboratory. A single virus can ruin the experiment. Bad news are viruses designed by the Pendulums to pull you off the wave. If you are in a streak of luck and suddenly you see the news and get indignant, if you get indignant with politics or scared by a distant war, you cut the connection. Your frequency plummets. You go from vibrating in abundance to vibrating in fear. The wave of luck passes over you and tosses you around. You fall to the bottom. And then you say, "How unlucky I am." No. You have poor mental hygiene. You ate the garbage that the pendulum threw at you. The transurfer's rule is strict. Do not let in negative information. If it does not directly affect you or your family, ignore it. It is not your problem. It sounds selfish. It is. But you cannot help anyone if you are stuck in the mud with them. To save those who are drowning, you have to be in the boat, not in the water. Stay on the wave. Stay informed just enough to operate, but emotionally armored. Every time you reject bad news, you don't react. You save energy that the wave uses to propel you faster. 5e, the bluebird, the signal of the beginning. In transurfing, we speak of the bluebird as a symbol of the wave of luck. Sometimes the wave does not start with money or material success. It starts with a feeling of lightness. You wake up and feel good for no reason. The air smells fresh. You feel optimistic. That is the bluebird, blue. The wave is brushing against you. At that moment, you have a critical choice. A. Think. How strange. Surely something bad will happen later. Loser's habit. B. Think. Aha, here it is. The wave has arrived. I'm getting on. Transurfer's habit. You have to grab that feeling. Cling to it. Feed it. Tell yourself, today is a great day. Everything is going well for me. Although your logical mind says nothing has changed, your soul knows that the frequency has changed. If you hold that vibration of lightness for a few hours, you will begin to see the physical manifestations. Matter is slow, energy is fast. First comes the feeling, the bird, then comes the event, the wave. Do not scare away the bird with your cynical doubts. V. Tactical gratitude, not mystical. Forget the religious gratitude of giving thanks for being good. Let's talk about tactical gratitude. Gratitude is an engineering tool for fixing coordinates. When something good happens to you and you say, "Thank you," feeling it, you are driving a stake into that lifeline. You are saying to the space of variations, "Here, I want to stay here, I like this." You are saving the game. If you do not give thanks, if you take the good for granted, you do not fix the coordinate. Reality becomes slippery, and you can slide back to worse lines. The transurfer gives thanks for everything. Gives thanks that there is hot water in the shower. gives thanks that the car started, gives thanks that they have internet. By doing so, they are constantly confirming, my life is comfortable, my life works, my life is abundant. And the mirror responds, confirmed, your life is abundant, and it gives you more. It is impossible to be on a wave of luck and be ungrateful. They are incompatible frequencies. Complaining lowers you. Gratitude raises you. It is elevator mechanics. Face, surfing the chaos, the Aikido of reality. What happens if you're on the wave and a setback occurs? Do you get off? No, you do Aikido. You use the force of the blow to propel yourself. If something goes wrong while you are on a streak, immediately assume it is for the best. This is the hidden benefit. Lost the flight? Great, surely that plane will be delayed, or I'll meet someone important on the next one. You were fired. Perfect, it's the kick I needed to start my company. The wave is freeing me from a burden. This attitude confuses the universe, in a good way. Normally, a negative event generates a negative frequency. But you, by reacting positively to a negative event, break the causal logic. You transform the energy of the problem into fuel for your wave. You become anti-fragile. The more problems life throws at you, the stronger you become, because you know how to alchemize everything into luck. In the end, the universe gets tired of testing you and simply gives you what you want, because it knows you're going to win anyway. This human is crazy. They turn trash into gold. Let them pass. Zeus, the inertia of the wave, momentum. Once the wave picks up speed, you enter what athletes call the zone or flow. Things happen without effort. Your job is not to obstruct. Many, when things go too well for them, sabotage themselves. Imposter syndrome enters. I don't deserve this. It's too easy. Surely there's a catch. That is your ego trying to retake control. The ego hates that things are easy, because if they are easy, he is not the hero. The ego wants struggle, blood, and drama to feel important. The wave is easy. You have to tell your ego, shut up and enjoy the ride. Get used to the good. Normalize success. If you are too surprised by your success, you are saying that it doesn't belong to you. Act as if it were normal. Of course I earn money. Of course they love me. It is my natural habitat. That quiet arrogance keeps the wave stable. Theiki, the compound effect of luck. The wave of luck works with compound interest. At first, the benefits are small, but if you stay on the favorable line for months, the benefits become exponential. You go from finding $10 to finding the opportunity of your life. You go from a day without traffic to a life of total freedom. The key is consistency. You cannot be a weekend transurfer. You cannot look for gold on Sunday and eat mud on Monday. You have to maintain the discipline of attention every day. It is a lifestyle. Living on the wave means living in a state of permanent positive expectation. You always expect the best to happen, not from naivety, but from the knowledge that you control the projector. If you expect the best, you illuminate the best sector. If you expect problems, you illuminate the problems sector. What are you going to illuminate today? Jai's luck contagion, neural networks. Luck is contagious. Favorable lifelines cross with those of other lucky people. If you want to get on a wave, get close to someone who is already on one. Hang out with winners. Hang out with happy people. Not to envy them, that lowers you, but to resonate with them. Grab the edge of their wave. Feel their frequency. How do they speak? How do they walk? How do they react to problems? Copy them. Absorb their wake. And flee from the jinxes, the gloomy ones, and the professional victims. They are in downward whirlpools. If you approach to save them without being strong enough, they will drag you down. Remember, you are the average of the 5 frequencies you interact with most. Practical exercise, the Victory Journal. To hack your brain and force it to see the wave, you are going to start a log. Every night before sleeping, write 5 victories of the day. They don't have to be big. The coffee was delicious. I arrived on time. I laughed at a video. I had an interesting idea. I took a nap. By writing it down, you are reprogramming your reticular activating system, RAS. You are telling your brain, hey, look what a successful life I have. Look how many good things happen to me. Your brain, which is a pattern-seeking machine, will say, it's true, we are lucky. And the next day, It will look for more evidence that you are lucky to confirm the new belief. You will start to see gold everywhere. The wave will grow under your feet while you sleep. Chapter 5: Induced Transition, the Spiral of Hell. It all begins with something silly. You spill coffee on your shirt, you get angry. You leave the house vibrating with rage. 10 minutes later, traffic is horrible. You get angrier. You arrive late and your boss yells at you. You feel humiliated. In the afternoon, you fight with your partner. At night, your head hurts and you think, what a shitty day. It wasn't a shitty day, it was an induced transition. You turned a coffee stain into a Greek tragedy. You let yourself be dragged by an energetic funnel that sucked you from a neutral lifeline to a catastrophic one. Today you will learn to stop before falling into the abyss. Life is not static, it is a flow. And in the space of variations there are upward currents, waves of luck as we saw in the previous chapter, and downward currents. Downward currents are dangerous because they work with the force of gravity. Falling is easier than rising. Destroying is faster than building. Panic is more automatic than remaining calm. The concept of induced transition explains why misfortunes never come alone. They always come in herds. When it rains, it pours. Misfortunes link together. Why? Is the universe cruel? No, it is fluid mechanics. An induced transition is an involuntary slide toward a negative sector of reality. It doesn't happen all at once. It happens in a spiral. It starts soft. A small negative event touches you. It is the hook. If you bite the hook, react emotionally, the event pulls you toward a slightly worse lifeline. In that new line, events are denser. Something worse happens. You react with more force, fear, anger, depression. That reaction emits a frequency that pulls you to an even worse line. And so you keep spinning in circles, going down the cosmic toilet until you hit rock bottom. Illness, bankruptcy, loneliness. The terrifying thing is that you are the engine that drives the spiral. Without your emotional reaction, the spiral would stop. The spiral would stop at the first event. You are the fuel of your own hell. Anatomy of a disaster. The snowball effect. Let's analyze the physics of collapse step by step. Imagine you are walking on a tightrope, your normal lifeline. Suddenly, a gust of wind pushes you, an external negative event, an unexpected bill, a criticism, a physical pain. In that precise millisecond, you have two options. 1. Maintain balance. Ignore. Accept. You stay on the rope. Get scared and wave your arms. Negative reaction. You lose your center of gravity. Most people choose option 2. They react with negativity. Negativity is a very specific resonance frequency. It is dense, sticky, and low. By emitting negativity, you immediately tune into the sectors of the space of variations, where there are more reasons to be negative. It is as if on YouTube you click on a video of car accidents. The algorithm starts recommending only accident videos. Your reaction is the click. Reality is the algorithm. By focusing on the bad, you tell the universe, I want more of this, and the universe obeys. It sends you the next disaster. You say, see, I knew something bad was going to happen, and with that confirmation you sink further. It is an accelerated, self-fulfilling prophecy. The transition is induced because the first event was only an invitation. You accepted the invitation by reacting. You could have declined. You could have said, no drama, thanks. I am not going to participate in this drama. But you participated, and now you are caught in the vortex. 2. The pendulum's hook, the provocation. Pendulums, energy vampires, are the ones that initiate the induced transition. They need to eat. A destructive pendulum, like the pendulum of crisis or the pendulum of illness, throws you bait. The bait is alarmist news, a rumor, or a mild symptom. Its goal is to knock you off your center. If you stay in your center, indifference, the pendulum cannot touch you. There is no grip. But if you have fear or anger, you have a handle by which the pendulum can grab you. The pendulum grabs you by your fear and pulls you toward its territory, negative lifelines. The more you resist and kick, struggle, the more you get entangled. People believe that fighting against misfortune is the solution. No, fighting is a strong energetic reaction. Fighting validates the enemy. If you fight with a pig in the mud, you both get dirty, but the pig likes it. If you fight against a bad streak, you get dirty with negativity. The pendulum wants you to fight. It wants your adrenaline and your cortisol. To escape the spiral, you have to do the counterintuitive. Surrender, energetically. Stop emitting the frequency of conflict. Third, the background hum, chronic anxiety. Sometimes the induced transition doesn't start with an explosive event, but with a constant background sound. It is anxiety. It is that ruminating thought. Something is going to go wrong. I won't make it. What if I get fired? That hum is a constant low-frequency emission. You are eroding your reality little by little. You are moving down level by level, inch by inch, without realizing it, until one day you wake up in a grey and depressing reality. It is death by 1,000 cuts. Anxiety is visualizing failures on a loop. You are rehearsing disaster. And because you are a good magician, though an unconscious one, you end up premiering the play. The transurfer must have a mental smoke detector. As soon as they detect the smoke of anxiety, they must put it out. Ruminating negative thoughts is not allowed because they know they are weed seeds. If you water them with attention, they will grow and suffocate your garden. Third, the emergency brake, the stop technique. How do you stop an avalanche once it has already started? You have to act fast. In the moment the first negative event occurs, the car breaks down, you are insulted. You have a window of opportunity of a few seconds before your emotional brain hijacks control. In that window you have to activate the observer. You have to wake up in the dream. The technique is to mentally shout at yourself, "Stop," or "Cut," like a film director. Event, someone insults you. Impulse, you feel the heat of anger rising. Intervention, stop. Dissociation, take a step back mentally. Look at yourself and the situation from the outside. Look, a pendulum trying to provoke me. Look how my ego wants to react. How interesting. Choice. In that state of dissociation, you choose not to react mechanically. You choose to respond with coldness or humor. By not reacting mechanically, you break the circuit. The pendulum expected energy and receives nothing. It falls. The spiral stops. You stay on the same lifeline, with a small problem to solve, but you don't go down to a worse one. You have contained the damage. This requires training. At first, you will fail and get angry, but slowly your brake muscle will get strong. Being able to not react to provocation is a superpower. It is the ultimate superpower of the 21st century. Transurfing Aikido, flow reversal. Braking is good, but we can do better. We can use the energy of the attack to propel ourselves. This is the technique of coordination of importance, which we will see in depth in the last chapter, but we introduce it here. It consists of changing the label of the event. The human mind is a labeling machine. This is good. This is bad. If you label something as bad, you generate resistance and fear, negative transition. If you label something as good, you generate acceptance and enthusiasm, positive transition. The trick is, label everything as good by decree. You get a flat tire on your car. Reactive mind, shit, what a disaster, descent to hell. Transurfer mind, great, this is good. Your logic will say, are you crazy? Why is it good? You respond, I don't know yet. Maybe I saved myself from an accident further ahead. Maybe the tow truck takes time and I read a book. I decree this benefits me. By declaring that the event is positive, you change your frequency emission. And here comes the physical magic. Since you are emitting a positive frequency, you force the space of variations to move you to a lifeline where that event has positive consequences. You literally change the end of the movie. You turn lead into gold. It is quantum alchemy in real time. If you practice this, you become invincible, because the more life hits you, the more benefits you obtain, since you transform every hit into an advantage. The fixed price rule. When something bad happens, there is an objective cost and a subjective cost. Objective cost, the glass broke, it costs $5 to replace it. Subjective cost, you get angry, shout, ruin your dinner, fight with your partner, sleep poorly. Cost, incalculable. In an induced transition, you pay a brutal overprice. You pay a brutal overprice for cheap problems. You pay with your health and your destiny for nonsense. The transurfer pays only the sticker price. The glass breaks. How much does it cost? $5. And a minute of sweeping. You pay the $5, sweep, and keep smiling. You don't pay a single gram of extra emotional energy. I am not going to rent my peace of mind to this problem. Learn to be stingy with your negative emotions. They are too expensive. Save your emotions for the things you love. Don't waste them on things that break. Save the inertia of matter, the mirror lag. Sometimes you apply the technique, you calm down, and things keep going wrong for a while longer. Why? Because matter has inertia. It is like an oil tanker. Even if you turn the rudder, change your mind, the ship keeps moving in the old direction for a few miles before turning. If you are in the middle of a streak of bad luck and decide to change to positive, do not expect the world to change in a second. You are still moving through the smoke of your negative thoughts from yesterday. You have to endure. You have to keep the smile in the middle of the shipwreck. Tell yourself, these are just remains. These are just the remains of the old program. It's already ending. The turn is already made. If you despair because you don't see immediate changes, you turn the rudder back toward disaster. Faith is keeping the course when you don't see land. Face the observer's benefit, laughter. Nothing deactivates a hellish spiral faster than laughter. Humor is a frequency of very high vibration that immediately takes you out of the pendulum's game. Pendulums are solemn. The devil is serious. The ego is dramatic. When you laugh at your own misfortune, you rise above it. You become the observer who sees the comedy, not the victim who lives the tragedy. Ha ha ha, look how absurd all this is. My car broke down, it's raining, and I've been robbed. It's almost a comedy movie. In the moment you laugh, you become untouchable. You have broken the importance, you have broken the fear. The spiral dissolves because it cannot sustain itself in the lightness of laughter. Learn to laugh at chaos. Chaos hates to be laughed at. Target prevention, cleaning the field. The best way to get out of a spiral is not to enter. How do you avoid slipping? By keeping the floor clean. Start your day by cleaning your energetic field. Do not look at your phone upon waking up. If the first thing you see is bad news, you have already put one foot in the spiral. Start with silence. Start with silence or with your success slide. Visualize protection. Imagine a sphere of mirror around you. Negativity bounces off. Lower the importance. Remember that nothing is that serious. You are a tourist on this planet. You are passing through. If you leave home with low importance and high humor, you are made of Teflon. Negativity doesn't stick to you. Text the bearers of misfortune, toxic people. Beware of people who are already falling down the spiral. They will try to grab onto you. They come to tell you their dramas, their illnesses, their injustices. They want you to validate their reality. They want you to say, yes, how horrible everything is. If you do, they grab your hand and pull you with them. They pull you into the vortex. Do not be cruel, but be firm. Do not validate the spiral. Listen to them with detachment, but do not join in emotionally. Or better, try to change their frequency. Tell them something positive. If they reject the positive and continue with the complaint, walk away. They are possessed by a pendulum. You cannot save someone who loves their chains. Protect yourself. Your stability is your greatest treasure. First practical exercise, the complaint diet. Complaining is the accelerator of the spiral. Every time you complain, you are signing a contract to receive more of the same. We are going to do a 24-hour complaint fast exercise. The goal is to survive a whole day without verbalizing any negativity. If it rains, it is raining, fact. Do not say, what a disgusting day. If it hurts, fact. Do not say, I am always sick, I can't stand it, is complaint drama. If someone fails, they failed. Fact. Do not say, they are an idiot. Judgment, complaint. Put an elastic band on your wrist. Every time you catch yourself complaining, pull the band and release a snap. A small physical reminder. You will realize that you are addicted to complaining. You live in a constant micro-spiral. By cutting the complaint, you cut the fuel supply to hell. Your life will improve radically in a matter of days. Silence is better than complaining. If you have nothing positive to say, be silent. Silence accumulates power. Complaining dissipates power. Chapter 6. The Whisper of the Stars, Mind versus Soul. You have two voices within you. One speaks loud, screams, analyzes, makes lists of pros and cons and is afraid. That is your mind. The other uses no words. It is a subtle sensation, a sudden breeze, a twinge in the stomach, or an expansion in the chest. That is your soul. The mind thinks it knows where it is going, but it is blind. It only has the map of the past. The soul sees the future because it lives connected to the eternal archive. The problem with your life is that you have let the blind man drive the car while you gag the seer in the trunk. Today we are going to change drivers. We live in the dictatorship of reason. Since we were children, we are told, think before you act. Be logical. Be reasonable. We are trained to ignore our hunches and trust data, statistics, and the opinions of experts. The result is a civilization of neurotic people who make logical decisions that make them miserable now. People who study careers they hate because they have a future. People who marry people they don't love because it's a good match. People who invest in businesses that give them a bad feeling because the numbers add up. In transurfing, the mind, reason, has a role, but it is a secondary role. The mind is a data processing tool. It is a magnificent calculator. But a calculator cannot have vision. A calculator cannot dream. The mind operates solely with the data it already knows, the past. It cannot conceive anything truly new. It can only reorganize old bricks to build new walls today in your world now. That is why when you try to think your way to success, you often crash. The mind takes you through beaten paths, paths of others, paths of pendulums. The soul, the subconscious, the higher self, is different. The soul does not think, it knows. The soul has direct access to the information field of the space of variations. The soul can see the sector where your success is and the sector where your failure is. She does not need to analyze, she simply feels the resonance. When the soul tries to warn you of a danger, she does not send you an email. She sends you a sensation, a discomfort, a heaviness today in your world, right now, today, now. Zeland calls this subtle communication the whisper of the morning stars. It is a very quiet voice, almost imperceptible, that gets drowned out by the deafening noise of the logical mind. I must do it. It's an opportunity. Everyone is doing it. Your mission as a transurfer is to lower the volume of the mind now. I, the mind, the lawyer of fear. The mind is a biological survival mechanism. Its primary function is not to make you happy, it is to keep you alive. That is why the mind is paranoid by design. The mind hates the unknown. The unknown is dangerous. When you propose a big dream, a new lifeline, the mind panics in your life right now today. What if you fail? What if you run out of money? What if they laugh at you? The mind starts building catastrophic scenarios, and worst of all, by visualizing them in such detail, it helps to materialize them. The mind is an expert at finding problems where there are none. It is the devil's advocate living in your head now, but the mind has a fatal flaw. It is blind to variance. The mind believes the future is a linear extrapolation of the past. It believes that if today is Tuesday, tomorrow will be Wednesday. It does not understand that tomorrow you could jump to a dimension where it is Sunday today in your world right now, today, now. The mind tells you, to be rich you have to work hard because that's what I saw Dad do. The soul knows that there are variants where money arrives easily and with joy. But the mind blocks that possibility because it is not logical. Common sense is simply the collection of collective prejudices today in your world now. The transurfing requires you to lose common sense to gain intuitive sense. By stepping beyond the rigid boundaries of logic, you allow yourself to perceive the hidden shortcuts and miraculous opportunities that only the soul can recognize in the vast field of infinite possibilities today in your life right now today. 2. The soul, the emotional compass. The soul does not speak Spanish or English. It speaks in the language of emotional comfort. Its binary code is very simple. Emotional comfort. Yes. You feel lightness, calm enthusiasm, expansion, certainty, peace, subtle joy. It feels like home. Emotional discomfort. No. You feel heaviness right now today. You feel contraction in the stomach, background anxiety, persistent doubt, the need to convince yourself. It feels alien. When you are faced with a decision, your soul reacts instantly. It is the first millisecond. That first impression is the truth. Then, half a second later, the mind enters and starts covering it up now. Argument. Yes, I feel a twinge in the stomach with this guy, but he is rich, handsome, and my friends say he's great. And so, you ignore the soul. You marry the guy. And 3 years later, you are in a hell saying, I knew it. From the first day I felt something strange. Yes, you knew it today in your life now. The soul screamed it to you in its own way. But you chose to listen to the logic of the social pendulum. By ignoring your internal truth, you tethered yourself to a script that was never meant for you, sacrificing your peace for the fragile approval of an external world that cannot feel what your heart knows today now. 3. The algorithm of truth. How to distinguish the whisper of the soul from the noise of the mind. Here you have the golden rule of transurfing. If you have to convince yourself, the answer is no. Read that again. Brand it into your fire. The soul does not need to convince anyone. The soul knows in your world today, right now, today, now. When something is really for you, your door, your lifeline, you don't need arguments, you simply want it. It attracts you like a magnet. You may be afraid of how to do it, but the what is indubitable. However, when something is not for you, your mind has to work overtime to sell you the idea right now, today, now. I should accept this job because it pays well and because it's nearby and because the moment you start making lists of pros and cons, you have already lost. If you have to look for pros, it's because the soul has already said no, and the mind is trying to negotiate today in your world right now, today, now. The truly correct choice feels obvious. It feels like, of course it's this, I don't know how to explain it, but it's this. By honoring this immediate knowing, you bypass the exhaustive mental cycles that lead to stagnation, allowing the natural force of your destiny to carry you forward with effortless grace now. Foreign goals, the trap of the pendulums. The greatest cause of unhappiness is pursuing foreign goals. Goals imposed by the pendulums. You have to be famous. You have to be thin. You have to have a degree. You have to have the latest iPhone. The mind buys these goals because it seeks approval and security today in your world right now, today, now. The mind thinks, if I get that, I will be happy and they will respect me. Then you strive, you struggle, you suffer, you use willpower, and when you finally reach the goal, you feel empty. Is this all? Have I suffered so much for this? You have climbed the ladder of success only to realize it was leaning now. It was leaning against the wrong wall. The soul didn't want that. The soul was bored all the way. And worst of all, since the soul didn't support the goal, external intention, the magic of the universe, didn't work. You had to do it all with your own limited energy, internal intention. It was a path of torture today now. A foreign goal has these characteristics. It is imposed by fashion or prestige. The path toward it is a constant struggle. You have to force yourself to work on it. You feel anxiety about the result, not pleasure in the process. By pursuing what belongs to others, you starve your own essence of the joy of creation now. Your door and your goal, the path of the heart. Transurfing teaches that every person has their own goal and their own door. The goal, what you want to achieve, your unique fulfillment. The door, the specific path to get there. When you find your goal, the soul sings. You feel an explosion of energy. You feel you could do it for free now in your life. You feel that time flies, and most magical. When you pursue your goal through your door, no one can compete with you. In your own path, there is no competition. You are unique. In foreign goals, competition is fierce because all the sheep are trying to enter through the same narrow door today in your world now, through the same narrow door of standard success. In your door, it is only you. And since soul and mind are aligned, external intention is activated. The universe rolls out the red carpet. Things turn out too easy. People will say, how lucky you are. You will know it is not luck, it is unity now. It is the nuclear power that is released when the driver, mind, and the navigator, soul, agree on the destination. By aligning your logic with your deepest passion, you command the elements of reality to rearrange themselves in support of your singular mission, making failure an impossibility in your world today. Fancy how to hear the whisper amidst the noise. The modern problem is noise. We live connected to digital pendulums 24/7, notifications, music, podcasts, opinions. Your mind is overstimulated. It never shuts up. In that roar, it is impossible to hear the soul. It is like trying to listen to a violin in the middle of a heavy metal concert today in your life. To reconnect, you need strategic silence. You don't need to go to a monastery. You need moments of emptiness, walks without a phone, walk alone, without music. Let the mind get bored. When the mind gets bored, it stops screaming, and the soul begins to speak right now today in your world. Right now today. The nightly question. Before sleeping, when logic's defenses go down, ask yourself the question, do I really want this? And listen to the first sensation that arises upon waking. The first fraction of a second of the morning is usually pure truth before you load the program of your personality today now. 7. The soul visualization exercise. To test if an objective is yours or is a trap, do this exercise. 1. Close your eyes. 2. Imagine that you have already achieved the objective. You already have the money, the position, or the partner. Everything is done. The effort ended. 3. Do not think. Feel right now today in your life, right now today. Listen to your body's response. Do you feel a deep, calm, and satisfying joy? Green light. It is your goal. Do you feel a hysterical but ephemeral excitement, or do you feel indifference, or do you feel a heavy burden, fear of losing it, fear of responsibility? Red or amber light. Be careful today now. It may be a goal of the ego. The soul does not know hysteria. Hysteria belongs to the mind, ego. The soul knows fulfillment. If you visualize success and feel weight, your soul is telling you that success will be a cage for you. Heed the warning. By listening to your body, you protect your future from false triumphs. Evita, the tyranny of the how. This is where the mind usually kills the soul's dreams. The soul says, I want to travel the world. The mind immediately jumps in. Impossible. You have no money. How are you going to pay for it? What will you do with work? It's crazy. The mind becomes obsessed with the how today in your world now. And since it doesn't see a clear how at this moment, it blocks the desire. Transurfing rule. The how is not your business. The how is the business of the space of variations, external intention. Your job is to define the what, the goal, and maintain the vibration of having it right now today. The how will appear along the way. If you allow the mind to demand seeing the whole path before taking the first step, you will never move. You have to educate your mind. Tell it, calm down. I know you don't see the solution now, but trust the soul. We are going to set the goal and move our feet now. The path will appear. When the mind accepts letting go of control of the how, it relaxes. And curiously, when the mind relaxes, it starts to see solutions that it didn't see before. It becomes a creative ally instead of a fearful censor. By surrendering the process to the universe, you unlock the magic today. Tailed unity of soul and mind, the magician state. The ultimate state of the transurfer is called unity of soul and mind. It is when 1. The soul wants, genuine desire. 2. The mind allows, faith, acceptance. Normally they are decoupled. Soul wants, mind fears. Blockage, mind wants, money, soul indifferent. Sterile effort, now. Soul and mind fear together. Instant materialization of disaster. Yes, negative unity is very common. When you have a horrible premonition, soul, and your logic tells you that everything is going to go wrong, mind, you unite in fear and create the catastrophe very quickly today in your life now. You are a perfect black magician. The goal is to achieve that same unity but in the positive. Feel the passion, soul, and have the total conviction that it is possible, mind. When you achieve that fusion, the image in the mirror of reality materializes almost instantaneously in your world right now today. There is no resistance, no doubt, no excess potential. It is a pure decree. I choose this, and I know it is mine. By aligning your internal vision with absolute certainty, you eliminate the static that disrupts manifestation, allowing your desires to crystallize into physical form with undeniable power now. Intuition as a security system. Your soul is not only for choosing goals, it serves to save your life. In the space of variations before a negative event occurs, there are prior waves. The future casts a shadow backward. The mind does not perceive them. The soul does. It manifests as an irrational restlessness right now, today, now. You are going to take the car, and you feel that you shouldn't go. The mind says, don't be silly, you'll be late. The transurfer has learned to respect those signals. If you feel a strong resistance to doing something, stop. You may be saving yourself from an accident, from a bad business, or from a scam now. It is better to seem weird or illogical than to be dead or ruined. Develop the habit of asking your soul before every important decision. Feel the friction. No friction. Ahead. With friction. Wait or change course. Life should be easy. Difficulty is a sign that you are going against the soul today. Fan a practical exercise, the day of I don't know. To retrain your intuition, do this exercise. Dedicate a day to taking small decisions. What to eat, what clothes to wear, which street to walk on, based exclusively on your visceral feeling, ignoring logic. If the body asks for pizza, even though you're on a diet, eat pizza right now, today, in your life now. Maybe your body needs that fat today. If you feel like going down a longer street, go. Maybe you avoid an unpleasant encounter or see something inspiring. If you don't feel like talking to someone, don't talk. Observe what happens. You will see that, surprisingly, the day flows better now. You feel more energized. Small synchronicities occur. You are learning to trust the navigator. You are proving to your mind that the soul is not crazy, that the soul is efficient. Little by little, you can apply this to big decisions. One day, your mind will automatically turn to the soul today now. It will ask, "What do you think, boss?" That day you will have reached mastery. By consistently choosing the guidance of your essence over the dictates of your logic, you transform your life into a masterpiece of effortless flow and unshakable alignment with the highest path of your existence now. Chapter 7. External Intention, the Hand of God. Imagine you are in a boat in the middle of the ocean. You want to reach an island. You have two options. The first is to grab the oars and row with all your strength, sweating, bleeding, and fighting against the waves until your muscles fail. That is your internal intention. The second option is to hoist the sail, adjust the rudder, and let the wind, an invisible and immensely powerful force, carry you directly to the island while you enjoy a cold drink on the deck. That is external intention. Most people die rowing, proud of their effort. The transurfer arrives further and faster, not because they are stronger, but because they know that the heavy lifting does not belong to them. It belongs to the wind. Until now, you have been taught that to get something, you have to fight for it. You have been taught the cult of effort. If you want something, go and get it. No pain, no gain. Blood, sweat, and tears. Sweat. All of this is based on internal intention. Internal intention is your personal willpower acting upon the physical world. It is limited. Your body gets tired. Your mind becomes exhausted. Your time is finite. When you operate only with internal intention, you are like a fly hitting itself again and again against the glass of a closed window. The fly is hard-working. It is tenacious. It is brave. But the fly is going to die on the windowsill, dried up and failed. Meanwhile, 1/2 meter away, there is an open window. The fly doesn't see it because it is obsessed with defeating the glass through brute effort. There is another force, a force that is not yours but that you can invoke. In Transurfing, it is called external intention. It is not called external because it is outside of you, but because it organizes the external world. It is the force that molds the space of variations. It is the force that makes circumstances align, doors open on their own, and impossible coincidences happen. Internal intention tries to move matter. External intention moves destiny. Internal intention insists, "I insist that this happens." External intention allows, "Circumstances make this happen." Accessing this force is the Holy Grail. Great leaders, geniuses, and billionaires who seem to have the magic touch are connected to it. They don't work harder than you. In fact, they often work less. But when they move a finger, mountains move. Today we are going to learn to let go of the oars and hoist the sail. The definition of power: having versus wanting. To activate external intention, you must first understand the difference between desire and determination to have. The universe does not respond to your desires. Desire is a declaration of lack. I want this implies I don't have this. Additionally, desire is usually accompanied by anxiety. I want it so much it hurts. That tension, excess potential, blocks external intention. The wind does not blow if there is static tension. External intention is activated with the determination to have. It is a cold, calm state without doubts. It is the attitude of someone going to the newsstand to buy the paper. You don't desire the newspaper madly. You don't doubt if they will sell you the paper. You don't kneel to pray to get the newspaper. You simply go and have it. It is a fait accompli before it happens. That quiet certainty is the language of external intention. When you look at your goal, being rich, finding a partner, with that same owner's coldness, external intention awakens. The universe says, this human is not asking for permission. This human is taking what is theirs. Make way. 2. The mechanism, the unity of soul and mind. How do you flip the switch? We already saw it in the previous chapter, unity of soul and mind. External intention is the resonance that occurs when your subconscious, soul, and your conscious, mind, vibrate at the same frequency. If your mind says, I want to be rich, and your soul says, yes, I love the idea of wealth, it feels good and fun, and there is no fear, no guilt, no hidden doubts, then a perfect coherent wave is formed. That wave is an administrator command for the matrix. External intention is the automatic response of the matrix to that command. The problem is that we are almost always misaligned. The mind wants money, but the soul feels guilt. Money is bad, or fear, it will be too much responsibility. That dissonance is noise. The command does not arrive. External intention is not activated. To invoke the hand of God, you have to clean your desires. You have to find goals that your soul approves with enthusiasm and your mind accepts with faith. When you find that, you feel a sense of inevitability. It's going to happen. I don't know how, but it's going to happen. It's impossible for it not to happen. That is the state of absolute power. 30. Moving the world, not the objects. Internal intention tries to change the world by manipulating objects and people. I am going to convince this client. I am going to force my son to study. I am going to work 14 hours. It is exhausting and generates resistance. The world resists being pushed. External intention does not push anything. External intention chooses a scenario where the result is already done. Instead of struggling to get hired, external intention moves you to a lifeline where they are looking for you desperately. Instead of chasing money, it moves you to a line where money flows toward you. The metaphor is the mirror. If you want to comb your hair, you don't touch your reflection in the mirror. Internal intention. You comb yourself and the reflection obeys automatically. External intention. You change your mental slide, your internal image, and external intention rearranges physical reality to match the image. It looks like magic, but it is physics. Reality is a plastic material that molds to the cast of your energy, provided the cast is stable, without doubts. 5. The world takes care of you, the supreme decree. For external intention to work in your favor, you have to change your relationship with the universe. Most people see the universe as a hostile or difficult place. Life is a struggle. Nobody gives you anything for free. If that is your belief, the mirror will reflect exactly that. A world full of obstacles and enemies. The transurfer adopts an axiomatic belief, an unquestionable truth. My world takes care of me. Or, the universe conspires in my favor. Repeat it until you believe it. Imagine the universe is a giant, powerful, and benevolent butler whose only mission is to make your life easier. If you miss the bus, the universe is taking care of you. It saved you from something or brings you a better one. If you get fired, the universe is taking care of you. It moves you to a better job. If you succeed, the universe is giving you gifts. When you live with this reverse paranoia, you activate external intention constantly. Every time you confirm, see the world takes care of me, you fix that reality. And the world, which is an obedient mirror, is forced to take care of you more and more to prove you right. It reaches a point where you become the darling of destiny. Things come to you so easily it's scary. People will envy you. Tú solo sonríe. You just smile. You know it isn't luck, it is external intention activated by trust. Letting go of control to gain control. This is the most difficult paradox for the logical mind. For external intention to work, you have to let go of control of the script. The mind wants to control every step. First, I will do A, then B, then C. But the mind is limited. Its plan is usually mediocre and full of obstacles. External intention has access to infinite tracks. It knows shortcuts you can't even imagine. If you cling to your plan, you block the shortcuts of external intention. You tell the universe, "No, I don't want your help. I want to do it my hard way." The transurfer does something bold. They let go of the oars. They define the destination, the what. But they let go of control over the path, the how. They allow the current to carry them. This does not mean being passive and lying on the couch. It means being attentive to signs and flowing with open doors instead of trying to knock down closed doors. It means accepting detours. Sometimes external intention takes you on a strange detour that seems to lead you away from your goal. The mind shouts, "We're moving away." The soul says, "Trust." And it turns out that detour avoided a cliff and took you to a secret shortcut. Trust the current. The current is smarter than you. Fast green lights, synchronicity. How do you know if external intention is working? Through synchronicity. Things start to fit together with mathematical precision. You think of someone and they call you. You need a book and you find it lying on a bench. You reach the traffic light and it turns green just in time. These green lights are the confirmation that you are in the flow. Friction disappears. If you are struggling constantly, if everything is problems, obstacles, and bureaucracy, it is a clear sign you are operating only with internal intention. You are going against the current. Stop. Lower the importance. Realign soul and mind, and wait for the wind to blow again. There is no point in rowing against a hurricane. 7. Faith versus knowledge. Religions ask for faith. Believe without seeing. Transurfing asks for knowledge. Faith implies a repressed doubt. You have to force yourself to believe. You have to have faith, because deep down you are not sure. Knowledge is neutral. You don't have faith that the sun will rise tomorrow. You know it will. You don't have faith that gravity will keep you on the ground. You know it. External intention works better with knowledge than with faith. Don't try to believe you will be rich. Try to know that it is a possible variant and that you are walking toward it. It is a mechanical fact. If you apply the laws of physics, the airplane flies. You don't need to pray to the airplane. If you apply the laws of transurfing, low importance plus soul-mind unity, reality changes. Treat it like a technology, not a religion. That eliminates anxiety and doubt. 30. The guest at the party. Imagine life as an elegant party. Internal intention is the stressed waiter trying to serve all the tables, sweating and afraid of being fired. External intention is the guest of honor. The guest does not ask. They do not demand. They do not serve. They simply raise their hand and someone brings them a drink. They walk and people step aside. They smile and people smile. They behave with dignity, knowing they are welcome, that they deserve to be there, and that everything is arranged for their pleasure. Adopt the attitude of the guest. Stop behaving like the stressed employee of your own life. Behave like the owner. The owner does not shout. The owner whispers and silence falls. External intention is that whisper of natural authority. Why does it fail? The fear block. If this is so powerful, why doesn't it work for everyone? Because of fear. Fear is inverted external intention. When you have intense fear that something will happen, e.g., I'm afraid I'll be robbed, you are uniting soul and mind in a perfect visualization of the robbery. Mind imagines the robbery. Soul feels the terror of the robbery. Perfect unity. Result, external intention brings the thief to you. Most people use the hand of God to strangle themselves. They are master magicians of misfortune. To use it in your favor, you have to lose the fear. And to lose the fear, You need the life insurance we saw in Chapter 3. Accepting defeat in advance and having a plan B. Only when you are not afraid to lose do you gain the power to win. X practice, awakening the force in the small. Don't try to use external intention to win the lottery tomorrow. It's too much weight for your current level of faith. Start with trivial things. Parking. Before arriving, visualize the free spot. Feel the calm certainty. There is a spot for me. Don't desire it. Know it. Transport. The bus arrives now. Shopping. There will be no line at the register. Play with reality. When you see that it works, and you will be startled by how well it works, your confidence will grow. Your logical mind will begin to accept that something more exists. Slowly raise the level. Use external intention to get a table at a full restaurant, then for a small sale, then for a large project. It is a muscle. At first you move a feather. With practice, you will move mountains. But the feeling is always the same. Minimum effort, maximum certainty. Chapter 8, The Slides, Printing Reality. Most people use their imagination as an escape route. They close their eyes to flee from their miserable lives for a little while, dreaming they are rich or famous, only to open them and feel even more depressed by the contrast. That is mental masturbation. The transurfer does not use imagination to escape. They use it to invade. They use a technique called the slide. It is a static, sharp, and constant image of the desired future placed over the lens of the mental projector. You don't watch the movie, you are the projectionist. And if you hold the slide long enough, the movie of your life has no choice but to change to match the image. Today we are going to learn to print reality. Your physical reality is like cement. When it is fresh, in the space of variations, it is liquid and moldable. But when it dries, it is hard and heavy. People try to break dry cement with hammer blows, physical effort. It is exhausting and you barely make a dent. The transurfer knows that the trick is not in hitting the dry cement, but in changing the mold before the next batch is poured. That mold is your predominant mental image today now. The problem is that your current mold is defective. Your mold says, I am a tired employee with debts. And every morning, the universe pours energy into that mold. And presto, you have another day of being a tired employee with debts. To change your life, you have to manufacture a new mold. Hold it firmly while the universe pours the energy. This new mold is what Zeland calls the slide. A slide is not a moving movie. It is not a vague dream. It is a high-resolution image of the final result. It is a photo of yourself already living in the lifeline you desire right now today. The secret is not seeing it once. The secret is wearing it. It is like augmented reality, AR glasses. You walk through your poor neighborhood, but through your glasses, slide, you see your rich neighborhood. You drive your old car, but your hands feel the steering wheel of your sports car now. By constantly superimposing this image, you create a distortion in reality. And the physics of the pendulums and external intention, which hate a vacuum and dissonance, will rush to fill that distortion with real matter. By holding the mold, you force the physical world to crystallize into your vision. Either failure of dreamers, dissociation. Why doesn't classic visualization work? Because people visualize in the third person. They close their eyes and see a movie where they, a small actor who looks like them, have success. They see the actor driving the Ferrari. They see the actor receiving the award today in your world right now. You are in the cinema seat looking at the screen. This tells the universe, that is not me. That is someone I look at. That is separate from me. You create separation. The universe says, understood. You want to watch movies of success, but you don't want to be the success in your life now. And it keeps you as a spectator. You keep looking at others' success on Instagram, but it never touches you. For the slide to work, you have to be inside. First-person visualization. Do not see yourself driving. Look at the road. Look at your hands on the steering wheel. Look at the watch on your wrist now. Do not see yourself kissing your ideal partner. Feel their lips. Smell their perfume. You have to erase the screen and become the protagonist. Your reptilian brain does not distinguish between a real experience and one lived intensely in the first person. If you do it well, your body will react now. Reactions like salivation, accelerated pulse, or relaxation are the ink of the printer. Without a physical reaction, there is no printing. By embodying the experience, you signal to the quantum field that this is your current reality, demanding that the 3D world align with your internal state today. Turn expanding the comfort zone. Luxury must be boring. Here is the biggest psychological paradox. If you win the lottery tomorrow, you will most likely lose all the money in 2 years. Why? Because that money is outside your comfort zone. Careful. Comfort zone here doesn't mean sofa and Netflix. It means what your mind considers normal and safe now. For a beggar, finding $100 is a shock. It creates anxiety. Excess potential. For a millionaire, finding $100 is nothing. It is normal. The beggar will lose the $100 fast to return to his normalcy, poverty. The millionaire will keep them today in your world now. The main function of the slide is to expand your mental comfort zone before physical success arrives. You have to get used to being rich before having money. You have to get used to being loved before having a partner. The slide serves to normalize the extraordinary now in your life now. You have to visualize yourself in your mansion, not jumping with joy and shouting, "I can't believe it." That is a poor person's mentality. But walking calmly, bored, looking for your keys. You have to feel that luxury is your natural habitat. When luxury seems normal and boring, you have eliminated importance. You have eliminated resistance. The universe says, "This guy feels comfortable in a mansion. His vibration is compatible. Let's give him the mansion." If your dream excites you too much, you are not ready. It scares you. Your dream must feel like old, comfortable shoes in your world today now. Use the slide to wear down the novelty. Visit your future so many times in your mind that when it arrives you say, "Ah, finally, I already know the way." By making the extraordinary familiar, you remove the energetic friction that keeps your desires at a distance from your reality today. Throws the goal slide, the what, not the how. A classic mistake is visualizing the process. You visualize how you work hard, how you convince the investor, how you study. Error. That is internal intention. That is struggle. Furthermore, by visualizing the how, you limit the universe. Perhaps the universe had an easier way today in your life now. Maybe it had an easier way to give you the money, but you are obsessed with visualizing that it comes from your hard work. The slide must contain only the final result, the consummated goal. If you want a car, the slide is you driving it with the window down right now today in your life now. If you want a house, the slide is you celebrating Christmas there with your family. If you want health, the slide is you running or playing, not you taking medicines and healing. The how is a problem for external intention. When you hold the final destination in your mind, external intention calculates now. It calculates the optimal route, GPS. If you change the destination every 5 minutes, the GPS goes crazy and you don't start. Keep the final image. Trust that the GPS knows how to avoid traffic. By focusing solely on the end, you allow the infinite intelligence of the field to arrange the path. Fair background slide versus active slide. There are 2 ways to use this tool. 1. The active slide, ritual. You dedicate 10 to 15 minutes a day, preferably before sleeping or upon waking, to entering the slide. You close your eyes and live the scene with maximum sensory detail. You touch, smell, hear. You add new details every day now. Today you look at the paintings on the wall. Tomorrow you look at the view from the window. This is deep work. It is printing with strong ink. 2. The background slide, AR filter. It is the one you wear during the day. It is a subtle sensation. You are on the subway, but in the back of your mind today now. In the back of your mind, you have the certainty that you are a successful executive going to a meeting, even if you are going to a junk job. You walk with the posture of your slide. You respond with the security of your slide. It is acting the role. This helps reduce the dissonance between your reality now. It allows you to live in the mess without smelling the mess. It protects you from negative pendulums because you are no longer there. You are in your slide. By maintaining this dual awareness, You maintain your frequency against external pressure and accelerate the transition to your desired timeline today. V, the battering ram of persistence. Reality is dense, it has inertia. Imagine you are projecting an image onto a wall of wet clay. At first, the image is only light. It leaves no mark. But the Transurfer's slide is a heat laser. If you hold it for a second, nothing happens. If you hold it for a minute, the clay heats up today in your world now. If you hold it for a month, the clay begins to melt and take the shape of the image. The key is persistence. People fail because they put on the slide for 2 days, look at reality, see that nothing has changed, and turn off the projector. This doesn't work right now, today, in your life now. Of course it works, but the cement takes time to set. You have to be a battering ram. Hit reality with the same image day after day, week after week, without anxiety, without looking to see if it already changed. Hit for the pleasure of hitting. Hit knowing that it is a physical law now in your life. The less dense structure, constant thought, ends up organizing the denser structure, matter. The drop pierces the rock not by its force, but by its constancy. B, the drop. By refusing to let go of your vision, you eventually overcome the inertia of the material world and force it to conform to your internal command today. Vi details the devil is in the pixels. A blurry slide creates a blurry reality. I want to be rich. That is not a slide, that is an abstract desire. The universe doesn't know what to do with that. Rich how? Arms dealer or heir? With health or without it? You need details. But not technical details, but experiential details today now. How is your life? What time do you get up? What do you have for breakfast? What color are the sheets? Who is next to you? What does your house smell like? The more sensory details you add, the more real the slide becomes for your subconscious. The subconscious is like a child. It likes pictures now. It likes colors and textures. Abstractions bore it. Make your slide rich, complex, and fascinating. Fall in love with your virtual refuge. Have such a good time inside your head that external reality seems like a cheap copy. When your internal world is more real than the external collapses now. The external yields. By flooding your mind with vivid imagery, you drown out the signals of your current environment and anchor your being in the future you are manifesting, ensuring that your energetic signature is undeniable to the space of variations today, in your world, right now today. 7. The ideal self-slide, self-image. Do not just visualize things, cars, houses. Visualize the owner of those things. Visualize yourself. What is the version of you like that lives in that slide? Is he afraid? No. Does he walk hunched over? No. Does he speak with a trembling voice? No. Design your avatar right now today in your life now. I am charismatic. I am calm. I am intelligent. I have iron health. Place that slide over your current body. When you enter a room, enter wearing your ideal self. People will notice. They won't see your current fear. They will feel the resonance of your projection today now. They will say, there is something different about you. You have more presence. You are projecting the hologram of a king over the body of a beggar. And if you hold the hologram, the beggar will straighten up, his voice will change, and he will become king. The habit makes the monk, and the slide makes the master now. Vadim, dissolving obstacles, the mental gift. You can use slides to soften social reality. If you have to deal with a difficult person, a tyrannical boss, an angry client, use the gift slide. Before interacting with them, visualize them happy. Imagine that you give them a gift they desire very much. It doesn't matter what right now today. Imagine you give them recognition or love or a toy. Visualize them smiling, accepting the gift and relaxing. Project that image over them while you speak. You are hacking their energetic field. External intention will catch your signal of goodwill and soften the pendulum that controls that person today now. You will be surprised to see how the tyrant becomes kind to you without knowing why. He simply feels good by your side because, at a subconscious level, you are giving him positive energy through your slide. By harmonizing your mental projection with others, you dissolve conflict before it manifests physically now. And when reality disagrees, dissonance. The most critical moment is when you open your eyes after visualizing your mansion and see your damp, small room, you feel a blow of disappointment. That blow is poison. It undoes all the work. You have to learn to manage dissonance. When you see the ugly reality, do not judge it today now. Tell yourself, this is temporary. This is the old set being dismantled. My real reality is coming by mail. There is only a delay in delivery. Ignore the evidence of your physical eyes. Trust the evidence of your internal vision. This is the transurfer's test of faith in your world right now, today now. Anyone can believe when they see results. The master believes to see results. Live in the as if. Act as if you were already rich, not by spending money you don't have, that is stupidity, but by maintaining the dignity and calm of the rich. Dignity is free. By remaining unshakable, you anchor your desired timeline today. Practical exercise, your master slide. Let's create your main tool. Do not make 20 slides. Make one. A master scene that summarizes your success. Example. It is a celebration dinner. You are on the terrace of your ideal house. You are surrounded by your family and friends. Everyone is laughing. You are raising a glass for a toast now in your life. You feel deeply relaxed, secure and grateful. You're wearing quality clothes. You feel the breeze on your face. You say, "We did it. What an incredible journey." You drink the wine and savor the triumph. That scene contains everything: wealth, love, health, success. Repeat this scene every night now. Make it your refuge. When you have a bad day, take refuge on the terrace of your slide. There everything is fine. There you are, untouchable. Recharge your batteries there and return to the world. Over time, the border between the terrace and your life will blur. By dwelling in your success, you make its arrival inevitable today. Chapter 9, The Dual Mirror, The Illusion of Time. You look at yourself in the bathroom mirror. If you don't like your hairstyle, what do? Do you try to comb the reflection in the glass? No. You comb yourself, and the reflection obeys instantly. But reality is a strange mirror. It is a dual mirror. It has a factory defect that drives the human mind crazy. It has a delay, lag. You smile, and the mirror takes a month to smile back at you. In that month of silence, you lose faith, stop smiling, and go back to wearing a face of bitterness. And just when the mirror was going to start smiling, it receives your new face of bitterness and reflects it. You are trapped in a loop of temporal stupidity. Today we break it. You have learned to choose your variant. You have learned to create slides. You have learned to invoke external intention. You are doing everything right, but nothing is happening. A week passes. Nothing. A month passes. Your bank account remains the same. Your loneliness remains the same. This is where the aspirant dies and the transurfer is born. This is where you face the dual mirror. The world is a gigantic mirror. On one side is the physical universe, matter. On the other side is the space of variations, metaphysics. You are in the middle. Your thoughts are the image. Your reality is the reflection. But unlike a normal mirror where light travels at 300,000 kilometers, here it's slow. In the dual mirror, matter is dense, viscous and slow. It is like pitch or hot asphalt. For matter to reorganize and coincide with your thought, it needs time. This delay is the security mechanism of the universe. Imagine if your thoughts materialized instantly. You would think of a pink elephant, and it would appear in your living room. You would think, "I wish I were dead," and you would drop dead. It would be chaos. The delay protects you from your own volatile fears, but it is also your trial by fire. You must maintain your chosen image long enough for the material world to catch up, ignoring the lack of immediate results with absolute certainty in your vision. The loser's loop, the observation trap. Most people live as slaves to the mirror. Their cycle of creation is reactive. 1. They observe reality. I look at my account. It is empty. 2. They form an image. I am poor. I am worried. 3. The mirror reflects. The universe receives the poor, worried signal and materializes more debts and problems. 4. They confirm reality. See, everything is going wrong, and the cycle repeats. They are glued to the mirror. They are like a cat trying to catch its own reflection. They believe that reality is objective and that they only react to it. They do not realize that their reaction is perpetuating the reality they hate today. To hack the system, You have to invert the cycle. By breaking the habit of reacting to what is, you stop fueling the existing reflection, allowing the current reality to dissolve, and making room for a new one to form based on your intentional projections rather than your automatic reactions to present circumstances now. 2. The Transurfer's cycle, the inversion. The Transurfer does not look at the mirror to know who they are. The Transurfer tells the mirror who they are. The winner's cycle is 1. They ignore current reality. I see the account is empty. I don't care. It is a temporary illusion. 2. They form the image, slide. I am rich. The money is on its way. 3. They wait during the delay. They maintain the smile in front of the empty mirror. Blind faith. 4. The mirror reflects. Finally, matter yields and the money appears. The hardest part is step 3. You have to have the audacity to smile at nothingness. You have to behave like a winner when you are losing right now today. This is not a delusion, it is quantum engineering. If you stop smiling before the reflection appears, you abort the process. It is like ordering something from Amazon and cancelling the order a minute before the truck arrives because it took too long. Your persistence through the void is the command that forces reality to shift. 3. The amalgam, the master formula. To keep the image fixed during the delay, Zeland gives us a tool called the amalgam. In the old days, mirrors were made with a layer of mercury amalgam. In Transurfing, the amalgam is a background phrase that tints your entire reality. It is a perception filter. The master phrase is, "My world takes care of me." Repeat it. My world takes care of me. No matter what happens, you miss the bus. My world takes care of me. It saved me from something. You find money. My world takes care of me. You get sick. My world takes care of me. It's giving me rest to purge myself. By repeating this, you create a new neural network. And most importantly, you force the mirror to reflect care. If you constantly declare that the world is a safe, loving, and abundant place, the mirror has no other choice but to show you that world. The mirror is neutral. If you tell it the world is shit, it gives you shit. If you say it's your butler, it serves you. For the great silence, the dead zone. There is a critical moment in every manifestation process. You have been doing your slides. You have maintained the amalgam. And suddenly, total silence. It seems everything stops. Even the bad things stop happening. It is the doldrums. Many people panic here. I have lost the connection in your world today now. No. You have entered the transition zone. It is the moment when the old set has been dismantled but the new one hasn't arrived yet. You are backstage in the universe. It is an excellent sign. It means change is imminent. In this silence, do nothing rash. Do not force. Keep polishing your slide. Keep trusting. It is the darkness before dawn. If you give up here, which is where most give up, the old set will fall back on you with all its weight. Hold on to the void. By staying still and confident in this vacuum, you allow the complex gears of external intention to complete the rearrangement of your reality. V. Searching for signs, tracking the reflection. Although the mirror is slow, it sometimes throws flashes, small confirmations. You are visualizing a new car. Suddenly you see that car 3 times in one day, or someone talks to you about that model. It is not a coincidence. It is the mirror saying, "Received, processing, here is a preview now." The Transurfer is a sign detective. Every time you see a small sign, celebrate it. Tell the mirror, "I see it, I know it's you, thank you." This gratitude acts as a chemical accelerator. It fixes the image. If you ignore the signs or say it's just a coincidence, you insult the mirror and stop the process. Value the partial reflection as if it were total. By acknowledging these minor ripples in the field, you strengthen the bond between your intention and the material world, signaling to the universe that you are paying attention and are ready for the full manifestation of your vision to occur today now. For the tyranny of the when. Never under any circumstances put a deadline on the mirror. I want to be rich by January 1st. That is a brutal excess potential. You are creating tension. You are putting a gun to the head of the universe. The universe does not understand your Gregorian calendar. It understands energy flows in your life now. If you set a date, you create anxiety. If December 30th arrives and you are not rich, you will get depressed. Your image will break. The mirror will reflect failure. The correct attitude is, I want it, and I know it will arrive at the perfect moment. I don't care when because I am already enjoying it. That detachment from time paradoxically accelerates time. When you are not in a hurry, the universe runs. When you are in a hurry, the universe blocks. By surrendering your timeline to the natural pace of reality, you remove the friction of desperation, allowing your goal to slide into your life with maximum speed now. Seventh, the illusion of solidity. The dual mirror teaches you that reality is not solid. It is pixelated. It only seems solid because your perception is slow. If you could see at a quantum level, you would see that your serious problem, debt, illness, is just a swarm of atoms vibrating in a pattern that you sustain with your fear today now. If you withdraw the fear and change the pattern slide, the atoms disperse and rearrange. There are no real problems. There are only dense energy patterns. Treat your problems as if they were smoke. Walk through them with your intention. Tell them, you are not real. You are the reflection of my past. My present is something else. Deny the authority of the current reality. You are the author. She is the paper. By de-solidifying your challenges in your mind, you reclaim the power to reshape them at will, transforming obstacles into the very materials you use to build your new chosen lifeline right now. Fate, practical exercise, the mirror journal. To keep yourself sane during the delay, you need to record progress. Buy a notebook. Every night write, mirror tracking. Note down anything, no matter how small, that indicates your slide is getting closer. Today my boss smiled at me, sign of a better environment. Today I found a coin, sign of wealth. Today I felt energetic, sign of health. By writing it down, you turn the subtle into solid. You are building a legal case of evidence in favor of your success. When your logical mind tells you nothing is happening, open the notebook and tell it, lie. Look at the evidence. The movement is real today now. Chapter 10. Coordination of Importance, the Master of the Game. Imagine you are in a labyrinth. You reach a fork in the road. The path to the left leads to hell. The path to the right leads to paradise. But there are no signs. There is only an event. You have been fired. Your primitive instinct screams that this is bad, so you turn left. You get depressed, you get scared, and end up in hell. But the event itself was neutral. If you had decided that being fired was good, you would have turned right and found the job of your dreams 10 meters away. The master of the game does not predict the future. He decides the meaning of the present, and by doing so, he forces the future to obey him. Today you become the coordinator. We have reached the end. You have learned to choose, to visualize, to ignore pendulums, and to trust external intention, but you lack the supreme skill, the skill that makes you invincible. It is called the principle of coordination. It is the rule that replaces all others. If you only remember one thing from this book, let it be this. Life is a stream of events. Most people try to swim against the current, control. They want everything to go exactly as they planned. When something deviates from the script, a problem, they get scared. They fight. They resist. By resisting, they create excess potentials and feed the pendulums. Result: the current drags them against the rocks. The transurfer does not control the current. The transurfer coordinates their movement. The premise is radical. The script of your life bifurcates at every event. Every time something happens, the path divides in two. 1. Favorable line, positive result. 2. Unfavorable line, negative result. Who decides which path reality takes? You. But you don't decide it with your physical actions. You decide it with your attitude. If you label the event as bad, you go to the unfavorable line. If you label the event as good or useful, you go to the favorable line. It is that simple and that mechanical. So the oyster versus the master, mental evolution. The average human being has the emotional intelligence of an oyster. If you prick the oyster, it closes. If you give the human a problem, he complains. It is a Pavlovian reaction. Negative stimulus. Negative reaction. This reaction is automatic and predictable. That is why pendulums control you so easily. They know which buttons to push. The master of the game has hacked this circuit. He has introduced a pause between the stimulus and the reaction. In that pause, he exercises his divine power. Interpretation. The event. You missed your flight. The oyster. Shit, what a disaster. I'm going to miss the meeting. I hate this airline. Enters a negative spiral. The master. Interesting, I missed my flight. My world takes care of me, so this must be beneficial for some reason I don't see yet. I accept this detour with curiosity. Emits a frequency of trust. Enters a favorable line. Meets a key partner at the airport bar or avoids an accident. The physical event is the same. The future is opposite. You are the train switchman. You move the lever. Terse, the alchemy of reality. People search for the philosopher's stone to turn lead into gold. Coordination of importance is the philosopher's stone. It turns lead, problems, failures, crises, into gold. Opportunities, learning, success. But for it to work, you have to apply it at the moment of impact. It's no use saying it a week later. You have to say it when it hurts. When you receive bad news, your ego will scream. Your fear will skyrocket. That is where you demonstrate your mastery. You breathe, and you decree, this is good. It is not a fool's consolation. It is not seeing the positive side with naivety. It is a command order to the space of variations. By declaring this is good, you force external intention to find a variant in the infinite archive where that specific event leads to a happy ending. And since the archive is infinite, that variant always exists. You just have to tune into it. Your declaration is the tuning dial. If you declare catastrophe, you tune to ruin. It is you. It is always you. 3. Letting go of the handlebars, the end of control. Fear comes from wanting to control the script. You have a plan in your head. I will study, get this job, marry at 30, have kids. The universe laughs at your plan. The universe has much more complex and often better plans. But when the universe diverts you from your plan to lead you to a better one, you panic. No, I went off the road, help. You grab the handlebars with white knuckles. You try to force the bike back to the old path. And in doing so, you fall. Coordinating importance means letting go of the handlebars. It means accepting that you do not know which path is best. It means telling the universe, take me to the goal. You choose the route. I enjoy the scenery. If the universe puts you on a bumpy dirt road, a crisis, don't get off the bike screaming. Keep pedaling and say, wow, a shortcut. Let's see where it leads. This radical trust eliminates anxiety. If you know the river flows into the sea, you don't worry about the whirlpools. Fee the hidden benefit, the 100% rule. Adopt this axiomatic rule. Every event that seems negative brings with it a benefit of equal or greater magnitude if you are willing to collect it. It is a law of conservation of energy. If you lose something, a vacuum is created. The vacuum sucks in something new. Your job is to not fill that vacuum with complaints. If you are fired, do not complain. Seek the benefit. Now I am free to start a business. Now I can move. If your partner leaves you, do not cry over what is lost. Seek the benefit. Now I can find myself again. Now someone more aligned will come. At first, you have to do it artificially. You must force your brain. But with practice, it becomes automatic. You become a reverse paranoid. You believe that everything bad is actually a conspiracy by the universe to give you a gift wrapped in sandpaper. And you are almost always right. The sandpaper scratches, but the gift is inside. Normal people throw the package away. The transurfer opens it. The labyrinth of mirrors, confirmation. The world is a labyrinth of mirrors. If you enter with a face of fear, you will see 1,000 reflections of monsters. If you enter with a face of confidence, you will see 1,000 reflections of friends. The principle of coordination is your permanent smile. Even when a mirror breaks, you keep smiling. Why? Because you know it is an illusion. You know reality is plastic. You know your attitude determines the result, not the event. Equation of failure, event, plus negative reaction, negative result. Equation of success, event, plus positive reaction, positive result. The event is the constant x. The reaction is the variable. Simple mathematics, change Y and you will change Z. Face a meet and the test of faith. Sometimes life will hit you hard. It won't be spilled coffee. It will be a death, a serious illness, a betrayal. That is where your transurfing is tested. It is easy to be positive when you miss the bus. It is hard to be positive when you lose all your money. That is the final exam of Amit. Chaos looks you in the eye and says, "What now, little magician? Do you still trust that your world takes care of you?" If in that moment of absolute darkness you are able to turn on the light of coordination and say, "Yes, even this I will use to grow. Even this will lead me to victory," then Amit bows to you. The pendulums step aside, and reality opens like the Red Sea. You have passed the test. No one can defeat someone who refuses to be defeated mentally. Zeus, the death of hope, knowing is born. Hope is weak. Hope is, "I hope it turns out well." It implies fear that it will turn out poorly. Coordination kills hope and replaces it with knowing. You know it will turn out well. Not because you are a fortune teller, but because you are the one who decides what well is. If you decide that everything that happens is good, then it is impossible for things to go poorly for you. You become anti-fragile. The more you are hit, the stronger you become. You become a machine of perpetual alchemy. Fear of the future disappears because you know that whatever comes, you will transform it into an advantage. That is true freedom. It is not the freedom from bad things happening that is impossible. It is the freedom from bad things affecting you negatively. Third, the emergency protocol step by step. Save this protocol for when disaster strikes. 1. The impact. The problem occurs. You feel the blow in your stomach. 2. The awakening. Tell yourself, "Wake up. This is a bifurcation point." 3. The break. Do not react. Do not complain. Do not call anyone to cry. Silence. 4. The label. Say out loud, "This is very beneficial for me," even if you don't believe it. 5. The search. Ask yourself, what could be the hidden benefit here? Look for 3 possible advantages. 6. The action. Act to solve the physical problem, but maintain the attitude that you are unwrapping a gift. 7. The observation. Stay alert in the coming days. The benefit will appear. When you see it, say, "I knew it." Just the state of master total coordination. When you integrate this, your life changes texture. You stop living in tension, you relax, your shoulders drop, your breathing becomes deep. You walk through life like an emperor strolling through his garden. You know that nothing can do you real harm. If it rains, it's good for the flowers. If it's sunny, it's good. If someone insults you, it makes you laugh, poor pendulum. If they praise you, you give thanks. You live in a state of total acceptance. And paradoxically, by accepting everything, you obtain control of everything. Because by not fighting the current takes you exactly where you wanted to go, but much faster. You become the favorite of the universe. The world of mirrors becomes your playground. X. The last trap, the spiritual ego. Beware. When you start to master this, you will feel superior to others. You will see people complaining and think, how asleep they are, how pathetic. That judgment is a pendulum. It is the pendulum of spiritual superiority. If you fall into it, you will lose your power. The master of the game does not judge. Feel compassion. Understand they are in a different phase. Do not try to wake them up by force, that is internal intention. Simply shine. Let your life be the example. When they see you calm in the middle of the storm, they will come to ask you, how do you do it? Then and only then give them this book. The final exercise, the 7-day challenge. Your graduation is practical. For the next 7 days, you are going to play the game of yes. To everything that happens, you will say yes. Traffic, yes, great for listening to music. Rain, yes, cleans the street. Mistake at work, yes, opportunity to improve the system. Strictly forbid yourself from no, complaining, and rejection. It is a fast from radical negativity. If you endure 7 days coordinating every event positively, you will see miracles. Literally. You will see complex problems solve themselves. You will see money appear from nowhere. You will see hostile people become kind. You will prove for yourself that reality is an obedient mirror, and once you see it, you will never want to be an oyster again. Conclusion. Wake up within the dream. The audio is about to end. My voice will fade away. The background music will stop. And in a few seconds, you will be left alone with the silence of your room, your car, or your office. That silence is dangerous. In that silence, the old reality will try to creep back in. The pendulums, which have been waiting patiently for you to finish this book, will attack you with a mobile notification, an urgent piece of news, or a fearful thought about money. They will try to hypnotize you again. They will try to make you a battery once more. This is the critical moment. Are you going to allow them to put you back to sleep? Or are you going to remain lucid? During these hours, we have dismantled the illusion. Now you know that reality is not an immovable block of cement. You know it is an infinite space of variations, a film archive where you hold the remote control. You know you don't have to fight the mirror to comb your hair. You only have to comb yourself, change your attitude, and wait for the reflection, matter, to obey. You know that bad luck is just an induced transition that you triggered yourself by reacting with fear. And you know you have the superpower of coordination, the ability to turn any disaster into an advantage with a simple mental decree. This is good. You are no longer a victim of circumstances. You are no longer a cork floating in the sea. You are the captain. You are the transurfer. But knowledge without application is poison. To know this and continue living in fear, complaining about traffic and hating your life, is worse than not knowing it. Because now you are responsible. Before you were innocent through ignorance. Now you are guilty through negligence if you do not use your power. From today on, life must become a lucid dream. Do you know what happens in a lucid dream? You realize you are dreaming. Suddenly, monsters are no longer scary because you know they are illusions. Suddenly you can fly because you know that gravity is optional. Your physical life is exactly the same. The people around you, the problems, the crises, are part of the dream's scenery. Don't take them so seriously. Lower the importance. Play. When you take life too seriously, you make it rigid. You block it. The transurfer walks through the world with an ironic smile, knowing that everything is a house of mirrors. If you lose money, laugh. It's part of the game. You will get it back in the next move. If someone insults you, laugh. It's a pendulum trying to provoke you. Don't give it your energy. If you succeed, be grateful, but don't cling. It's just a lifeline you have chosen. I warn you of one thing. Inertia is strong. Your environment will try to drag you back to the old script. Your friends will want you to complain with them. Your family will want you to worry with them. They will tell you, be realistic. Keep your feet on the ground. Do not listen to them. They are asleep. They are non-playable characters, NPCs in your movie, until they decide to wake up for themselves. You keep your slide. Wear your augmented reality glasses all day long. See your mansion while you are in your small flat. Feel your health while you are sick. Feel your wealth while you pay the bills. That controlled madness is the only sanity that exists. It is the only way to print a new reality. Don't wait for the world to change to be happy. That is looking into the mirror with an angry face expecting it to smile. Be happy first. Feel the external intention flowing through you. Repeat your amalgam until it is a mantra in your blood. My world takes care of me. My world loves me. My world is abundant. If you hold that frequency long enough, I promise you the mirror will break. Reality will yield. The walls will fall. And you will find yourself living a life that, to yourself of the past, would seem like an impossible miracle. But you will know it was not a miracle. It was engineering. It was choice. It was transurfing. The book ends here, but your turn starts now. The projector is on. The movie is running. What are you going to project onto the screen of the universe in the next 5 minutes? Choose wisely. Choose with audacity. And above all, do not fall asleep again.